September 14th, 2016, and I'm joined with Twerk and BoredGamer for Redacted. What's going on, guys?
Hey.
Hey.
Of course he's muted. Of course he is.
I'm muted.
Of course he's muted.
It wouldn't be a podcast if I didn't mute myself.
This is true.
Don't
This is true.
It wouldn't be me if I didn't forget what happened 5 seconds ago.
Saurus is wearing a hat indoors. I'm going to move my camera up so you don't just see the bottom of my face. I don't know what's going on.
Get comfortable.
Because my hair is the disgusting color of like this pukey red, whatever. So I am in the midst of deciding whether to re-dye it, which means I have to re-bleach it again and everything, or just wait and then cut it all off.
Cut it all off.
Yeah, I haven't decided yet.
So I would, like I do with my hair every week, try and grow it out as far as it goes.
How's that going?
It's
fantastic. I bet.
Slow progress. I like to think that when Star Citizen
you're a
is actually
very
released,
patient man.
I'll have flowing locks.
You're a very patient man, boy.
Thank you. I am.
No.
Now let's hurry up.
Yeah.
No, and hurry up and take your time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm in a lot of pain.
I'm just in mental pain right now.
It's okay, bro. It's okay. So Twerk has not had a good week.
I haven't had a good month.
Yeah.
Last 30 days. Since the day I got back from Gamescom, I don't think I've had any. Not too much. There's it's funny. There's been lots of positive things that have happened, but then things just punch me right in the dick right after.
Right in the dick.
Fucking dick.
Yeah, but it's like someone's bought you a free drink, but you've just been in a constant tire fire, so it doesn't really matter.
So,
it's like somebody bought me a free drink, but my mouth is wired shut.
Yeah. Oh, that would be
I can't
upsetting.
drink it. That's what it feels like.
The most handsome man in the Burns ward.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Like.
So as you guys can see, my stream is not dropping because we are on my channel, but the one who's streaming to my channel right now is WTFosaurus.
Hi.
So the stream looks good, but as you can see,
of him.
my camera is skipping all over the place.
Oh, it's not that bad.
No, I'm watching it. It's pretty bad. So that's what I'm like. That's basically what's going on with me right now is the last stream we had was Sunday. And it was really fun. Board came on. We had 14 people or 13 people. I think it was 7-on-6 Starfare battle, and it was pretty intense. And then of course the server crashed before we finished. But it was a good time, and we were having a lot of fun. And then I tried to stream Monday. The plan was to stream Everspace because it was the day before it released to early access, and they did some really cool updates to like their HUD and their UI and all this stuff and gameplay changes and shit, and I wanted to show it off. And Michael from Rockfish Games was going to be there, and it was going to be all fine and dandy and great and fun. And then I went, and people are like typing buffering in the chat. I walked away to use the restroom, and people kept typing buffering, and I'm like, fuck, man. So I look, and I've dropped like 40% of the frames. So I call Comcast, the tech comes out, and the tech was here. It was brand new. Brand fucking new, was calling his boss every 5 minutes to figure out what he was doing. And I sat in the chat. This was Tuesday. I sat in the chat and talked to people for a couple hours, and Bored hosted me. We had 140 viewers on a test stream where I opened my mic for 2 seconds and said, guys, there's no point in talking on the mic because the delay is so long. The delay was like 5 minutes.
Really?
I said to my stream,
yeah.
I said, let's raid Farasot because he's still online. Oh no, Twerk's got a test stream. We're going there.
Yeah. Forget Farasot. Forget somebody that's actually streaming the game. So, yeah. Don't tell Farasot that. So then we sat there, but you know what? It actually worked out because maybe somebody that was watching you were a couple of the guys that were helping me. And like one of them was a former Comcast tech. And he was like, tell him to do this. And I was telling the guy to do it, and he wouldn't. Like one of the things, it really pissed me off. He wouldn't do it. So right here, right in front of me, is the direct line from the outside of the house. So he was taking the measurements on his like computer from the direct line from outside the house. But that's not what he's supposed to do. Because there's a splitter that happens right after that, and it splits. One of them splits to my modem, and the other splits to the TVs throughout the house. And he's supposed to take the levels after the splitter, what's going directly into the modem,
Because you might get more line noise.
Do it.
Yeah, it's to do with line noise.
Refused to fucking do it. I asked him 14 times, he wouldn't do it. So then I called and I talked to Sanjay in India, and they were no help. They upgraded me to one more person. I started yelling at her. She upgraded me next, and I got this guy Devin. And hopefully, Devin, you're gonna see this because we're gonna show Devin what I'm dealing with. Because he wants to see Twitch, what's happening. He wants to see my Skype and what's happening.
What's going on with that?
But he's like a level 2 tech guy. Like they're pretty high up there. He knows his shit.
You're dropping about 40% of your frames. That's what's happening.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what's happening. And so he wants to just show it to his boss and other people to say, okay, this is a problem and it needs to be fixed. So he hasn't called me yet today, which is kind of frustrating because he's almost out of work. And he said he was going to, but as always, Comcast customer service is on point. I left him a message today, so hopefully something's happening. On top of that, all of a sudden, there was a area-wide outage for 15 fucking hours. So what happened yesterday was Devin, who was a really helpful guy, was trying to help, and then the whole internet went out in my area. So he couldn't help. So it's like, just fuck my life, basically. So what has Twerk been up to? Fuck my life. That's what he's been up to.
Sucks to be Twerk.
So before I finish, I've gotten, since I came back from Gamescom, Soros helped me get a Loot Crate partnership, which is really awesome, and you can check that out below the stream if you want to buy Loot Crate. But there's no way for me to stream to unbox anything and show it to you. And I also have this really cool thing right here that I would love to unbox for everybody and show it off. I know it's backwards, but it's an X56 HOTAS.
It's not backwards.
Can't unbox that. It's been sitting in the box for 2 days because I would like to show it off to you guys, and I want to do it together with you, and I can't. Because fucking Comcast.
I'm going to have to be really brutal with that HOTAS as well, because I want to show people that the throttle and buttons don't die. So
yeah.
My one's gone to my
mate. I'll brutalize it. Trust me. I squeeze my sticks pretty hard.
Oh.
Wow.
I bet you have with no internet.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was the thing that Bored helped me get. So much love from my friends at Redacted. I appreciate it because I couldn't do this stuff on my own because, yeah. But thank you to both of you guys, and unfortunately I can't take advantage of it just yet. So I'm sad.
Soon, TM. Soon.
Soon, TM, man.
Soon might be a month.
Maybe.
This could potentially be a really long process because I think I know what's wrong, and it's just somebody's faulty equipment somewhere around me, and they have to find it, and that's going to be a problem. Now, I did say that if I got a call from Comcast, I'm going to take a break. So you guys say what you're doing. I'm going to go off camera for a little bit. Devin's calling me right now. Okay,
no worries.
There you go. That's a good transition.
So yeah. Shall I talk about what I've been up to, Soros? Is that smooth enough?
Yeah. No, that's a good transition.
Yeah. It's a nice smooth transition, like when you dropped in that information below the stream.
Oh, you like
earlier?
That was a nice smooth transition. Just move it around.
Smooth.
And there it is. Bam. I want to put it there. I'm going to prettify that later, but that was something I remembered last minute. And I was like, I'm just going to put it there. So then
I couldn't tell. To be honest, I looked away for a second and it was just there, and I was like, wow.
Oh, look at that.
Smooth.
Information.
So, I mean, I've just been plodding on with my normal Star Citizen, making some videos. I've got some good ones coming up, and I've been working on some stuff about more meaty things, about mechanics. So I'm going to be going over stuff that we know for mechanics in a video today about what we're probably getting for 3.0 and in the form of careers and cargo and that sort of stuff. But other than that,
excited for.
Juxtaposed to Twerk.
Yep.
Can
we just watch really and see how intense Twerk is freaking out on the phone right now?
Yeah. He looks like Trixie, doesn't he? He's got into Trixie.
He's ready to fight someone through the phone. Okay, he's ending the call, I think, soon here. But yeah, anyways.
Yeah, so I juxtaposed to Twerk. I've had a really, really good streaming experience recently. It's all quite exciting for me.
No, it's been good for me too.
It's only like, because I do it once a week. It's nice and easy. It's like I can almost have a day off. I do 3 hours of streaming. I can connect to my my audience, all my viewers and people. It's really nice. I'm really awful at reading the chat though, because I don't understand how you and Twerk and people do it. You are able to play the game and interact with the chat as it's happening and answer all the questions. I mean, I can't fly a ship and talk. I can't read and fly a ship. That's just
it's just
crazy.
something you get used to it after long enough. It's the thing is like you started streaming and you already had like what 100 people or something, 200 people, right?
200 people.
So for us, it was like we didn't have other streamers that were like we didn't know, nobody knew who we were from YouTube or for anything. We just came in and started doing it. So we gradually built up from like 10 viewers all the way up to where we are now to like 500, 600, whatever plus. And so that's been like a gradient, and it's been a long gradient. So it's been like, okay, you know, you slowly get used to it over time. And now
I suppose that's
like,
exactly what I've done with YouTube.
Yeah.
So I built up like that from YouTube, but not had the experience with the streaming that you guys have had.
Right. Yeah. I think they're two completely different, even though they're in the same sort of realm, right? With like video and games and whatever. I think they're two entirely different beasts. So.
Okay. Yeah. I think you're right. But so yeah, during my stream, I looked at Twerk's channel and went, Twerk's only got a 780. He's running his main PC on a 780.
780 Ti, to be fair.
Is it a Ti?
Yeah.
Okay, 780 Ti. So I mean, and they're not bad cards, but they're very dated now. They're 3 generations old Nvidia cards. So I went, let's do a donation goal for Twerk, getting him a 1070. That's all he needs, but it's going to be great. It will deal with it. Will like last him a couple of years. Boom, be great. Be prettier pictures for everyone. It'd be great. So I put like a $430 goal. And we hit it in the stream straight away. Like I say, straight away by the end of the stream, because I said during the stream, every time that Star Citizens crashes, I'll do 10 push-ups. I'll do them at the end of the stream, and it crashed 3 times. Once at the very, very last like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I haven't done push-ups in, I don't know, 12 years. And I've got quite fat. So it was hell. It was absolute hell. I got through 20 when I need to rest. Got through 5, another 5. Just like, oh, last 5. Someone says I'll give you $40 if you do another 10. Fuck yeah.
Like, okay.
Oh, and yeah, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible, and I'm really in quite a lot of pain. But it was funny. It was horribly fun. I'm genuinely in pain. I can't raise my hand very well.
I'm still a little bit sore.
That'll teach me.
A little bit sore.
That'll teach me for not being fit, won't it? But I'm thinking about doing a different exercise every week for that. So we'll do like
change your name from BoredGamer to Bored Exerciser.
Well, and Farasalt coined a really good phrase, which was Star Citizen.
Well, that's not new. That, to be honest, that was something from way back. There was this little trend with the Star Citizen channels that I think I was the only one that didn't take part in it, but was like every time somebody got a donation or a sub or something, they were doing push-ups, and it was called Star Citizen.
Oh, really?
And everybody was doing it.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't want to be part of the mainstream.
Yeah, it's too late, man. You're a part of it.
I'm not cool. But yeah, so hopefully I'll be getting better and better at streaming. I'm considering streaming on Sundays in the future as well, once I've got a bit better.
Yeah. I noticed you were streaming this Sunday when I normally don't stream, but because I didn't stream on Saturday, I was streaming, and I think I saw you then.
I can't remember what I was doing.
Yeah.
I can't remember anymore. It's all a bit of a blur. But yeah, so other than that, I haven't really been up to too much. I haven't got any new hardware to test. Which I'm looking at those. Have you seen those like Chinese knockoffs of the Vive and stuff? No. So there's loads of them. And I'll talk about it more after this, because it's something I'm going to probably try and get some. Some of them are really cool. Some of them are like hybrids of the Vive and the Oculus, and we work with both in 4K and stuff. And are like $300.
Their frame rate are probably shit though.
Well, there's got to be something.
Yeah, I would. They need like the expensive part is the resolution with the frame rate. So I don't imagine Chinese knockoffs are going to be able to pull those both up. What it's probably going to be is, you know, those little pocket games that are like those LCD screens. They're just gonna have those on the monitors and be like, yeah, 3D LCD.
Oh, well, some of them have been given quite critically good reviews by people that have tried them, like magazines. So I want to try and get us some so that we can mess around with them. Yeah, because we've got experience with Vives and stuff, haven't we? Yep. So we know what to compare them with. So hopefully, it burns your retinas out slightly. Yeah. So hopefully that they're going to be quite good. But at the moment, I'm plodding along with the Star Citizens. Just the Star Citizens content in general. Nothing really new other than the streaming, which I'm enjoying. But as I said, in quite a lot of pain. What about you, Source? What have you been up to?
So I've been up to quite a few things. Working on building a studio with Stacy. So for those of you that don't know who that is, that's someone that I've been working with on Nerdy Bartender and is going to be doing the stream house and stuff like that. Also been working on putting together a proper business plan and everything for the stream house. And right now we're sort of in the process of coming up with what that project is going to be called. We still aren't 100% on that. Been playing a lot of Star Citizen, been giving away a lot of ships. Was on W. Shan's podcast called Beyond the Broadcast, where he interviews like a streamer and sort of talks to them about their game and where they came from and what they do and all of this other stuff. And that was really fun. That was like an hour-long interview podcast thing with him, and he's a local Vancouver streamer. That's what we have up right now. What else did we do? Painted the studio, did the celebration stream at Stacy's place on Friday. Had a bunch of other streamers go there and YouTubers and stuff. That went pretty late. Made some crazy drinks, eat some crazy food.
Crazy drinks? Or you did just cocktails?
Yeah, we were just making cocktails and drinking shots and getting drunk and all of that fun stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There isn't much else. Right now, I'm just sort of waiting for either a new patch to drop or waiting for, TwitchCon and CitizenCon, which are effectively like a week and a half away for both of those, right? So I go to TwitchCon coming up and then I come back and then I immediately go back out for CitizenCon. So it's like I leave, I come back for like 2 or 3 days and then I fly out again.
Yeah, so, you're going to be real busy, aren't you? Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm busy with a lot of stuff. Just everything from the stream house to team stuff and my own channel stuff and talking to my partners and things like that as well. Oh yeah, I forgot I had that on. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. Nothing too crazy. But yeah. So we can probably jump into
we might as well do some admin, like ask questions for the podcast and all that sort of shit.
Oh yeah. So a couple things. We are gonna do a giveaway, but we have to wait for Twerk to come back from that because this is on his channel and he's the one who runs the bot. But when we do that, we'll set that all up. But we are going to be what was the other thing you said? I just blanked.
Giveaway and podcast.
Podcast questions. If you have questions for the podcast, for myself, Twerk, BoredGamer, all three of us, and one of us individually, about our YouTube, about Twitch, about the stream house, about the game, whatever, yeah. Exclamation point question in chat. Feel free to ask us that. Obviously, you can see below my messy things that I'm pointing at right now. That is the Redacted Twitter, the Redacted website, and our Patreon there. I will make a prettier version of that. But for the time being, that's what you're getting.
It's burning out my retinas just like a cheap HTC Vive knockoff.
Here, hang on. Let me see what I can do here. And then we'll watch. We're gonna do some live editing. This is what the beauty of
because I was doing a video on cargo and careers today. I'm super hyped for Star Citizen at the moment for 3.0. Like, really hyped.
Super extra hyped?
Yeah. Because we can start to do, like, proper gameplay. We don't have to organise stuff so much. It's emergent gameplay. It's not sort of like let's organize this. Let's have this goal. We don't need that. We just play. The goal is to play, and just for me, even at early stage, is just absolutely fantastic. Twerk is back.
Twerk is back.
Sassy.
Hello.
Twerk, can you do me a favor and set up a giveaway?
Yeah.
Thank you. Love you.
We love you, Twerk. You're the best.
What are we giving away?
Dragonfly.
Oh yeah. That's
I thought that's what we decided on.
Yeah. I forgot.
Yeah. So we're gonna give away a Dragonfly with LTI because we like you guys. We want you to win some shit. And
I will try and do a bad lip reading for Twerk at some point from that phone call conversation.
Oh, that'd be funny.
That would be good.
Yeah, get a community one on the go.
All right, it started. Good luck.
Awesome. So we hadn't jumped into anything.
We
yet
haven't.
on
We
what
just
we've done.
finished. Yeah, and you can see
Cool.
I prettified the links below, kind of a little bit.
So I mean, it was what really happened. This was kind of perfect timing. So what the tech was talking about was he got to see. It was perfect because he could see your cameras and how it's supposed to be, and my camera and how it is.
And how it actually
and I kind of
is.
explained to him how the stream is actually much worse because you get buffering and you get the buffering window, and how Twitch works communicating with chat is important. Right. And as the buffering continues, the delay gets larger and larger. And so he also said that like the ball's rolling on the people that are in my area to fix things near me and try and find the issues, and he's busting his butt on the engineering side. So it's the most positive experience I've ever had with Comcast. So
that's good to hear.
It's not working yet, but on the customer service side and the effort side, instead of you're getting the close to the speeds you should be getting, you're fine. They realize that that's not the issue, and that's not appropriate. So that's really important for me.
Cool.
So
hopefully that will be fixed soon.
I hope so.
We told everybody,
but we're gonna have to be patient. It might take time.
We told
I might not be streaming for a long time. Okay.
We told everybody about the questions and the giveaway. I have the video up for the 1,000 sub special for Torellian's thing that he's still working on. I believe the casting call is still open. But yeah, so that's his thing there, and he does have the casting club call club thing going. And if one of you guys want to do me a favor and throw that in chat, while I show that here on the channel. This is it here. So you can go there, and there's 15 roles in total. I still need to do mine. I need to submit an audition here for a couple different things.
Yeah, I want to also.
Please do. I've submitted mine in for the newsreaders.
Oh, is that what you submitted yours for?
Yeah, I think if any projects that I want to join in with, I'll probably go for the same thing. Just reading the news in the background.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
So yeah, anyone wants to be a part of that, they can.
That's right.
I love that.
It is a full community endeavor. Also coming up, we have the Florida Bar Citizen. And Twerk, do you want to talk more about that and maybe also drop another link in chat for that?
I was working on something for the questions doc, so I lost track. What did you just say?
Florida Bar Citizen.
Yeah. Florida Bar Citizen. Okay, yeah. So Saturday is the Florida Bar Citizen. Dude, they on Not So Sober Saturday, Jaroon was on there, who is one of the guys that were helping set it up.
Yep.
And he's really funny. He kept calling the content creators celebrities. Oh, there's gonna be so many celebrities there, and I'm just like, we're not celebrities. But he helped set it up, and he kept giving credit to me, which was really funny. Where it was like, hey, we should do a Florida Bar Citizen, and that's all I did.
Yeah.
And like I guess I put up a post on the RSI forums that got some traffic, and then they kind of Sophie Girl and Joe Roon and everybody kind of took the rest of that. I will post the link in chat right now that Soros is showing. But
it is.
Yeah, it's on Saturday. Me and Sniffle Wizard are going to be taking a ride up there together. Thank you very much to French Tickler. French Tickler sent me $50 donation so I can rent a car because my air conditioning's being kind of wonky. So he was like, here, rent a car. And French is like literally the nicest guy ever. And I was talking to him on Discord, and he was like, yeah, I want to do get a new PC, but I really don't have that much money. And I'm like, you just donated $50 for me to rent a car. Like, put that towards your PC, you silly man. So, so me and Sniffle are going to go there, and I am going to vlog like I did in Germany for that event. Yeah, so I'm really excited about that.
Right on.
I'm having a really hard time getting chat to open right now.
Chat wouldn't open for me earlier either. I think Twitch it's broken.
So I'm not going to be able to put that link in, but it's Eventbrite.com.
If you go to Eventbrite and then just search Florida Bar Citizen.
Yeah.
Or I'm sure
Eventbrite.com, search Florida Bar Citizen.
Let me just do a quick Google search of Florida Bar Citizen.
So
it's the fourth link down if you Google that.
Southern Jumper, it's this Saturday, the 17th, and it's in Orlando, Florida.
It's at 2 p.m.
2 p.m., yeah. I will not be there at 2 p.m., but I'll be there a little later. I'm going to come fashionably late because, I'm a celebrity.
Celebrity status and all.
I'm a celebrity.
Rin Kaisuka Suta is joined into the chat, and he is at least half of your graphics card, Twerk.
Thank you very much, Rin. Yeah, did you talk about that? Because I didn't get a chance to talk about that yet.
Yes.
I mean, very briefly. But
I didn't get a chance to thank people. I didn't put a tweet out and things like that because yesterday I was literally on the phone with Devin or with Comcast Tech the entire day and focused on that. So everybody that donated to that, you guys are really, really, really generous, and thank you so much. I finally purchased it an hour ago because my internet was down all night, so I couldn't get to it. But yeah, so thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Genuinely appreciate it.
Yeah, seriously.
Much love.
Really, I may not sound super genuine right now, but it's because I have no emotions. I'm in a weird place.
Become a robot.
I've become a robot. I have no emotions. I'm just numb to everything right now. But I'm more numb to the fact that you guys did that and did it in one day. I'm like, what is Bord doing? He's not going to hit this goal.
I really didn't want to do those last 10 push-ups. I really just didn't. It was like my body wouldn't work.
Only 70?
What do you mean only 70?
Only 70 push-ups?
What? No, I only did 30, Twerk.
You only did 30 push-ups?
I did 40.
And your body's numb.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I know. He can't lift his arms above his head.
No,
you are a true nerd, my friend. You're a true nerd.
Yeah.
It'd be like I've got to spend 30 minutes in the sun. I wouldn't be able to do that either.
Wait. I just want to make it very clear that he's making fun of you for doing push-ups, and he's sore from walking uphill. So,
okay.
To be fair,
talk about that. My stress tests. So obviously, I've talked to you guys about the health issues that were going on with me a little bit. So I went to the cardiologist today to do a stress test. I have more things in the next 2 weeks with them, but my stress test was fine. It's such bullshit, dude. This is our fucking healthcare, though. I'm there for an hour.
Hail the great
on
America.
The treadmill. Yeah, I'm there for an hour on the treadmill, and you start off slow, and there's a steep ass incline. So you start off slow, and then they get to the point where I probably should have been running, but I was walking as fast as I could. Basically, it was like the Olympics, speed walking. You know how they walk like this, and
that's a lot more Special Olympics. What you just did there.
Yeah, maybe
a little bit.
But yeah, dude, it was like I wasn't breathing heavy, but my legs were on fire, man. It was burning. But the doctor comes in. It was such bullshit. She had so many. I had an EKG on me, so I have like patches of hair missing all over my chest. It's pretty gross. And
naturally or
no, she she shaved me and ripped them off and everything. So yeah, and every minute the EKG was printing out my heart rate and like what it looks like. And the doctor comes in. There's pages upon pages of the EKG, and he just goes like this. Like, here, I'll lift my hands up. He just goes, "Yep, you seem to be healthy." Shakes my hand and fucking walks out. And I'm like, "You fucking really?" Like that was it.
Maybe he knows what he's looking for.
I guess, but he barely even looked. I think he just knows there's nothing wrong with me, and he's just like, "You're just a pussy," and there's or something, and that's it.
Look at him; he can't even walk up.
But as I was sitting there after it happened, after I did the thing, I started getting chest tightness, and I told them, and they were like, So, yeah, America.
Only cost them $10,000.
Yeah, we'll see what it cost me. I haven't gotten my hospital bill yet.
$20 billion.
I got a survey from the hospital, but not a bill. How much do you think you're going to pay? That's what the survey was. And then at the end of it, it's just the lol amount.
Yeah.
None of those options were real. It's 10 times that amount.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Super Mac Bros has a stream coming up on the 17th for his birthday.
Indeed.
Yep, and so I have the tweet up here. I've retweeted that just recently, so if you want to go check that out, you can check on my Twitter, or you can go to his Twitter, Super Mac Brother, without the S.
I'll try again to get chat open so I can link the tweet.
There's lots of giveaways and stuff at the same time, and it should be like a nice celebration of them streaming and Star Citizen, so it should be good.
Yeah, it should be pretty cool. They have a bunch of stuff they're going to be giving away and all kinds of crazy stuff. Fun times had by all.
Yeah, man. So there's lots of cool stuff going on. Yeah, there's one thing too that I should have put in the doc and I didn't. That's actually getting a lot of traffic is Aliciano's post on the Vandal on the website.
Yes.
And I don't really have to put a link because it's right below us, right there. Redacted.tv. I think it's the first post there.
Yes.
And yeah, so it's getting quite a bit of traffic on the site. People seem to like it, and I guess that's what I've been doing this week, and that's probably what I'm going to continue to do if I can't stream very much.
It's just working on the website stuff?
A lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah.
So, and we've changed the SEO on the website, or actually put in SEO on the website, and it's been getting a lot more traffic, so it's been really good. And we yelled at Bored for the way he tags his posts. No, everybody was tagging them that way. We all thought it was like YouTube tagging the posts, but it wasn't. It was different.
Yeah, it's like I had like 5,000 tags attached to mine.
Yeah, no, that's a lot.
Lol.
When you only need like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to move into the news this week?
Yeah, we can talk about stuff that was brought up
week.
around the verse.
I blame Matt Sherman.
Always blame Matt Sherman's
fault.
It's always Matt Sherman's fault.
Matt
Sherman ruined Ultima Online for me. You guys remember that podcast that I yelled at him?
Oh, and Twerk has not shut up about it since.
You don't have those.
Even off air.
You don't have the Matt Sherman emote. That makes me sad.
I don't have it. I didn't know. I thought let me add it.
Matt Sherman's head shivving the Ultima Online logo.
You should get that one as well.
Shivving it.
Okay. So here, talk about armor, guys.
Yeah, so armor is modular, which we already knew, but they sort of talked more about that on switching out the different helmets and the different pieces and stuff.
Well,
RTV was a bigger help with it too. They answered a lot more.
They specifically said the helmets aren't going to be ready. They're going to be like the last thing ready.
Right.
That makes sense. They're the most...
Well, because it has the HUD and everything as well. It changes the most for the player from a visual standpoint, from what you're seeing and everything as well. So that kind of makes sense. But being able to switch, I think it's like the top part and the bottom half. I don't think it's like the chest and the arms and stuff. I don't think it's that modular. I think it's more of like boots.
I think it is that modular. I think that you can have arms, legs, and chest all going to be separate.
Okay, I thought it would be like arms, including hands, arms and chest, all one, like a shirt, right? Legs, and then boots, and then any other sort of belts or something like that that have extra attachment points, maybe.
I don't 100% know, but I think the arms are one separate location, the legs are one separate location, the chest's a separate location, the head's a separate location for armor. And then attachment points on that armor so that you could have belts and holsters and stuff based on that.
Yeah, and they also showed the marine armor. So they were reworking the light and medium is almost done, and they're working on the heavy marine now. So light and medium
those
are
were
pretty
all
close.
marine armors that they showed
They were
us.
all marine stuff, that's right.
Yeah,
I really like them. I think they look pretty cool.
I think they look cool, and they showed us like white with no color. But then they also mentioned that like there will be Star Marine colors. It seems like. Yeah,
and I feel
red and blue maybe.
Like they're getting it ready for a couple things. Number one is customization.
Yeah.
Right. Number two would be things like their damage states and stuff like that. They've talked about how they want to implement those same damage states that they have on the vehicles, right?
So
like it's sort of like a shader. But the problem is because the character rigs are a different entity type than the vehicles are. It's just finding out how to do that with those characters. Once they sort of break that through, then they're going to be able to do all of that. And you'll see things like burn marks and scratches and cuts and scars and all of that other stuff, which will happen.
Plus, you see all of
your
mate's armor like at the end of the week, and you're going to see all the battle damage that he's
exactly,
been through,
like parts hanging
millions of
off and shotgun blasts and stuff like that, which will be really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Another thing they mentioned was some stuff isn't going to necessarily fit in everything. So a heavy marine or heavy outlaw armor or something like that, you might not be able to pilot certain ships with and things like that.
Yeah. And then on RTV, they also said, like, there might be, like, unique. So, like, yes, they have the base marine heavy and, like, they'll be mix and match, but there's a chance that you can go to a store in a certain, and get a unique speculating armor set on this part about it, but about the going to a place in a store. But I'm assuming that at some locations, there's going to be a special item that you can potentially purchase.
Or maybe for a mission or something like that.
Yeah, like a unique helmet or shoulders.
Just like they have in
like
any other MMO.
Like the WoW
any sort of other MMO where you have that sort of special, limited, whatever that makes you look really fucking badass. And
yo, man, how much UEC do you have? I got 30 million. I'm about to go get those sweet bracers, bro.
I'm going to get those fucking dragon wings, brah. Rocket dragon wings.
I suspect there's going to be proprietary suits, which, like, the boots will only work if you've got the right helmet and chest. So it all comes as, like, a single package, like some sort of, like, EVA rig or some sort of special combat armor with, like, servos and stuff, like, not Titan armor, but getting there, sort of thing. So there probably are going to be other special armors that you have to have certain bits of for them to work together. But I think it's quite exciting because we might see this in Star Marine, mightn't we? The modular armor.
I think that's what they're getting ready for.
I think that's what
that's the big push.
We're going to talk about this. Actually segues well with this, but I think the female model and the male model are going to be with that as well.
I used to not think so, but after this week, it may just be.
Well, do you remember in the 3.0 demo in the Gamescom presentation? But just before they talked about 2.6, they had that 2-second clip of a woman reloading.
Yep.
And a female character reloading.
I never saw that.
Yeah, it's like a 2-second clip just before the slides come on.
I was probably too busy screaming.
Well,
I love you, Chris Roberts.
Chris,
but they said during that as well.
Tears streaming out of his eyes.
It was like a Michael Jackson concert.
Yeah.
2.6, he's dead.
Girls passing out.
2.6 is going to have the new character avatars. So I'm assuming that they use the word avatars, hopefully females, and hopefully customization of them. And just even if it's just small customization, like with loadouts.
Now, with that said, so I think so. They kind of made it seem like the female body's done, and they're plugging all the heads onto them now.
Right.
And they just plug the male head on. Done.
Yeah.
Trixie. Done.
Maybe it's good. But the one thing that I think it was on RTV that they mentioned was that the clothing part is where it gets more difficult. So maybe in like Star Marine only, I don't know. I'm guessing here, but I think there's more to it.
Okay.
Right. It's the clothing and the armor. Because we've only seen male armor, we haven't seen
they need
female
to. Well, they had said that they need to redo all of the clothing and everything. They want to have a lot of the similar styles and similar things come over, but the way that it fits on a female is obviously different. So they need to go and redo all of that.
But not done. In that sense, you know what I mean? So.
Done, but not done. So you mean the assets are ready, but they just need to be conformed for. The
clothing
female,
and armor and stuff. They might need to make armor assets.
Yeah, that's what I think is the main thing holding them back. I think all the skeleton rig and all the animation and stuff is probably done. They just need to have all the armor and clothing working, so you can go in and.
They don't need all the clothing working.
Well, because they do because all the shopping.
Well, they don't need all the shopping for Star Marine. They need the armor.
For Star Marine, they need the different armor, and who knows how much if there is going to be any more armor sets coming in with that. Or
I hope so.
If whatever changes,
well, I think we're gonna get updated ones from.
We saw those glowy ones, right?
Yeah.
We did.
So that's
So
I was gonna say something about that earlier, but I don't remember the point I was gonna make.
It wasn't important. Don't worry, it's back.
Nah, it wasn't really super important.
Some armor.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's the more like I'm trying to say this. The game's really. You can tell that it's becoming a game, It's like the pieces are the groundwork is finally there that they've been talking about for so long, and now they're putting the pieces together, and that's really exciting. I mean, the groundwork isn't super there, but it's getting there.
And then the iteration stuff. So this is all standard stuff we've heard about for a while now. I'm not sure what you mean by the iteration system, though. This is in your notes, so.
Interaction system. I spelled it wrong.
Oh. Yeah, that's why.
Sorry.
I was like,
interracial system. What is this?
I have no idea. I think it's when they plug the female head on the male body.
So the interaction system. So with the little pop-ups that come up and everything, and and that kind of stuff. So basically, what is that called? The inner thought.
Interaction system.
The inner thought.
Inner
system?
thought. Yeah. So they showed a lot of that, but the big, I guess, the cool and exciting thing that they showed about it was that we saw a new mission that we didn't see in the 3.0 demo.
Underneath.
It was very quick, but it said new objective Grimhex race or something like that. Let me bring up info runners because I had something else there.
New mission Grimhex race.
There was something behind it too that was super faded out.
Oh shit, mate! What was it?
It says new mission Grimhex race, and then very faintly behind that you can read new objective something 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 race lobby.
Okay.
So racing in the persistent universe.
Yeah, this is in the persistent universe. Now, me and Soros can start throwing blows at each other again. Is this going to be instance or is it not going to be, and how's it going to work?
I don't think this would be instance.
I don't think it's instance either.
I don't think it's instance either, but how the fuck does it work without people flying their ships into you?
Well, I think that's going to be a part of it.
If this cat,
I think it's in Grimhex,
I'm
man.
gonna kill her.
That's the part of it. The missions I think that are going to be instance are the hero missions and stuff like that.
You're wrong. You're wrong, Jared.
Well, we'll see. We'll wait and see. When we're at CitizenCon, I'm just going to go right up to Chris and I'm going to be like, listen, we need to dispute this right now. I'm going to, Twerk, come here.
No.
Twerk, come here.
Just go up to Brian and say, we're clearing something up.
Right now. Yeah.
And then just say, Chris was saying.
Listen, Chris Roberts sent me over here.
And so, Twerk, all I got to say is bring your Trixie outfit to CitizenCon.
Yeah. No. We gotta come up with a bet right now. What's it gonna be?
I don't know.
Whenever this gets resolved, what's it gonna be? Let's do it right here, right now. This was a slow week. We're already halfway through the doc, so
I don't know.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know. Let's not do something we've already done.
Trixie is a set thing.
Trixie's your thing.
Trixie's my thing. Trixie comes out.
That was
Squadron
the whole point.
42.
Listen, I have a secret. Twerk wanted to be Trixie the whole time. He just wanted a reason to do it.
Yeah.
So we can't make that.
I really don't ever want to be Trixie, but
he loves being Trixie. That's why.
I'm really
you'll definitely see Trixie again. You'll definitely.
I feel like it's a wasted emote. But people use it all the fucking time. I feel like it's a wasted emote because it only. I don't know. Maybe
we'll get. Well, I'm not gonna do drag if Twerk isn't gonna do drag, but we'll figure something out. Maybe we'll ask the community.
We don't have to dress up. We can do something. We'll figure something out. But there's gonna be a bet, and you're gonna finally fucking lose one.
What about you? What about the loser has to give away a big fucking ship?
No.
Big fucking ship.
Boring. We give away ships all the time anyway.
Plus, that costs a lot of money.
I want to do something unique. Yeah, and that costs money. That we might as well
remember that all these ships that we give away are basically come out of our pockets. So
yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah. Okay, BoredGamer is going to give us one of the ships, and whoever wins gets to give away the ship that BoredGamer is going to give away.
Silly because Twerk's probably right.
No.
I think. No, but I'm not getting involved. I'm not getting involved in this.
You just did, buddy.
Maybe we could. Well, I don't think Twerk is necessarily attached to his beard as much as I am.
No, I'll shave mine any day.
And
I don't think he can shave off his eyebrows because of work, and I'm sure they don't want him looking like a cancer patient.
Wow.
So I don't know. I don't know what.
The loser gets full haircut.
If I lose, I'll buy a Maxnomic chair. I'll actually buy a gaming chair.
Maxnomic,
I know that's money.
Ew.
Huh?
Ew.
Ew.
Yeah,
Sorry. They were super comfortable.
Really? I've only heard of them breaking.
And I never sat on a DX racer I was comfortable in. It's just it's my body.
I'll shave my beard if I lose.
I'm spending $400.
Yeah, on yourself.
There's something on yourself.
Yeah, come on, get the fuck out of here.
It's not like I'm buying a spike chair that spikes.
Yeah, are you gonna buy me a DX racer? Because I need a third one. Do you want to buy me a DX racer? And if I lose, I'll get you a DX racer.
I don't want a DX racer.
Pierce your own penis. WikiHow.com.
I'm not. No.
This is the latest suggestion.
No. And twerk.
Maybe we'll do something silly, like we have to dress up in a banana costume to CitizenCon or something. Or the next
not CitizenCon.
Con we go to.
It's we're not gonna know before then.
We're not gonna know. The next con after we lose the bet, we have to dress up in a banana costume.
Yeah, I could do that. Or one of those inflatable dinosaurs.
Yeah, just something silly.
Something silly. We'll figure it out.
And you could do it at a con because people dress up at cons, but yeah. Deal?
Or wear a shirt that promotes the other person. But not like one.
I do that anyway.
No. Not like a Soros shirt, but something that says it on it.
How about
we can make a shirt
to wear a costume of my choosing? My choosing.
I don't know if I like that.
Well. Okay, but how sure are you that you're right, Soros? How sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Right?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well then you've got nothing to lose.
No, I know, but I feel like you might go easy on Twerk.
I will not go easy on Twerk.
No, this is not.
I promise you I will not go easy on Twerk. I have some things in mind. Come on, Soros.
Maybe.
I'm taking that as a yes. You heard him.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
That's a star citizen yes. Maybe. Right, let's get on to some actual Star Citizen news again. Come on. Derailed.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Talk about the Aquila. That's what we're going on to now.
Yeah. Oh, well, let's talk about for a second this week's. Before we go into that, because I guess I'm going to kind of whine a little bit. Is what's new? Is the
shortness of ATV?
This week's ATV was a little. Everything was super short. It was like 2 seconds, and I think they spent a lot more time on the person in the 30-second clip. They spent a lot of time on the person talking and a lot less time on the showing. So this was like the first week that they kind of got away a little bit from the from what we're used to seeing from ATV, right? It was 16 minutes long. That's okay. I'm okay with it being 16 minutes long, as long as they didn't necessarily have to show the Aquila, and I'm going to go into that.
Right.
They could have taken the female model, or let's go with the armor, the interaction system, which they barely showed. I feel like they could have showed a little bit more with that, a lot more detail with that. I know I think that they're just testing it on that Hornet, but they maybe could have showed us the system startup of a ship and things like that, because they actually did show us that stuff on Bug Smashers. But not everybody watches Bug Smashers, and the time for you to showcase your game typically isn't in Bug Smashers; it's in ATV, right? That's where they do all the showcasing stuff. So I think they could have just done a little bit more, and that's my feeling with that. And then the next thing with the Aquila is they didn't show much of it. They showed it in a very white boxy state when we already have the Aquila in our hangars, so we know what the cockpit looks like. We know what the shape is. Right. So they weren't really showing anything exciting or new. And the LA office isn't the office that is making the Aquila. They're the office that is breaking the Andromeda head off and placing the Aquila head on, which is actually quite interesting, and I like to see that. But I think that should have came after maybe next week's episode, which goes to Austin, or whenever Austin is, which I think is next week.
Right, because they're the ones working on the ship. Right?
We all know Christmas making the fucking ship. Mm-hmm. Right? So I kind of...
But I mean,
while I thought that was really cool, yeah, and not entirely, Matt, obviously, I don't know what the fuck's going on. But as I'm telling you, as a backer, that's what I see. Right? You know what's going on, but as a backer, I'm seeing okay, they broke it off, they're putting it on. And that's interesting and it was cool, but as a backer who doesn't know the technical stuff, that's what it looks like to me. The sexy stuff is the art, and that's what Chris Smith is doing.
Yeah.
So I would have liked, all I'm saying is I would have liked to see the tech design after the art. So I don't think it had a place in this episode.
I don't know. I think they needed to show it now.
I think that this episode was pretty short. It was only like, what, 16 minutes or something like that? Right?
Yeah, but that part was the
and so I don't think
the shortest.
Yeah, but I don't think that they necessarily replace that with anything else, because if they wanted to add anything else,
maybe
there's
that's what
plenty
it was.
of room
For content.
Maybe they just needed content, and that was what was ready to show for content.
Yeah,
you know, for
I can't
an
wait till
episode
Squadron
where
42's out.
when they want to put out like hour-long episodes, right? And that's what they've been doing, but they want to keep it like content rich.
I'm cool with the 60-minute episode. Just elaborate more on those other things, and you didn't have to have the Aquila in there.
Yeah,
that's all. But it was really cool. Like, let's go into like what was actually cool about that. Is they did show some cool stuff. Like the way they took it off and the way you can see things fit is you're actually seeing what they're making variants.
Yeah.
So now you can see how the Cutlass blue is going to come together most likely. Like, I'm not saying that isn't cool what we saw. It was fucking cool, and it's your ships coming together. Like, it's awesome what we saw. For 30 seconds we saw it. Like, maybe when we're further down the system and they can talk more and show us more, then it's cool.
I'm thinking they're pushed for content because of Squadron 42 and CitizenCon. They can't show us a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and CitizenCon is killer too, yeah.
Yeah, and I do think they wanted to show the Aquila then, or Killer then, because I think when we see Austin, we're going to see more of it. And
I think we're going to see a lot of it.
Yeah, but if they'd gone back to show this
hope we do.
Afterwards, we'd be like, well, we've already seen it. So this is a better way to warm you up to it, maybe. So I'm thinking playing...
Fair enough.
I think maybe. I mean, the episode was really short. I hope that we get more meaty episodes in the future, because it was a little bit too short.
Right.
We didn't get enough. And
this was bound to happen at some point.
Yeah, but...
So if it was going to happen at any time, just like you said, Squadron 42 is not out.
Yeah.
CitizenCon is right around the corner. And
Star Marine is
definitely... Star Marine's not here yet.
Yeah. Right.
The bit we're just about to talk about, the tech content team,
was awesome.
They had loads of stuff that they could have fleshed out more. They could have made that. They could have talked more about exactly what they're doing and showed more of exactly what they were doing without breaking any of their rules or any of their stuff.
Of course not. Yeah, so I think it was
super interesting.
It was. Nobody's perfect. We certainly are not. You know,
my arms.
We're certainly not perfect. So
we're allowed to bitch. We're good at bitching.
Yeah, we're really good at that. But yeah, so this episode, it could have been better, but yeah. So it's just one of those things where I think Soros and Board, I think we all agree that if we just sit here and say, you know what, that was really cool and I really enjoyed it, I think it's okay for us to say, I wish I saw a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that's all we're doing.
It certainly left me wanting more, because there was so much stuff I was like, oh, I wanted to see, like, so the tech content, the first bit of tech content was a guy that breaks apart ships and, like, shows them damage when he breaks them apart. And he just shows that with the Argo. That would have been amazing to show more of.
See, with other ships. You could have seen, he could have been talking the whole time, and it could have been like that epic music, like, I can't think of it in my head right now.
Yeah, I know as stuff gets pulled
and things are just blowing up. We're gonna
get content ID to it.
That's true.
It was too good.
Yeah, but like it could have been something like that. That would have been awesome. But what do you think about naked males? What do you guys think about naked males?
I don't have the same love for them as Sean Tracy does.
Oh my god, his eyes is proper. I love the naked male. It's a good model though.
Yeah, it is good.
I didn't realize how good what they're doing is until they showed us what we currently have standing next to it.
Mannequin arms.
It was just like these white-looking dead arms. And I thought what we had now looks pretty awesome.
Because they're covered in stuff.
Yeah.
They're covered in armor, so you don't notice.
Yeah, but when you're wearing your clothes, too, you see your hands sometimes.
You don't look at your hands ever.
Yeah, not really.
I do.
When you grab stuff, when we've got grabby hands...
Twerks too busy looking at the jump.
That's true, you're never pulling a gun out without armor on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because of... Unless you clip out of things, which I typically don't do. Yeah, so I don't know. I thought what they showed was really good, and I love the fact that one of the things Sean mentioned was that we see our hands a lot, and they wanted to make sure that
start to.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna start seeing our hands a lot when we're grabbing things, and it's just the way they've developed the game. So it's really important to have super good detail on the hands. I just like that they think of that. You know?
Yeah,
I like that they were like, you know what, we
cool.
see the hands a lot. We better make sure we have those down solid.
And what do good hands give you? They give you an extra set of abs.
Yeah.
that's he's got so many abs. If you're sitting down all day, just too many abs, mate.
Too many.
You gotta do more push-ups to get those abs, Bored. More than 30. If you get 31 push-ups, you would have had abs like that. So you know. Did 31 push-ups.
I did 40 in the end. I did 40. And I have got a...
So you lied to me first. It was 30, and now it's 40.
No, but then someone
said like a fish story. Like in a few minutes, you did. Yeah. I did 50, man. 50
I did 280.
I did 1 billion.
I got you a whole new computer.
1001, 1002.
Doing that hurts.
Okay, Rin. I trust Rin. He said you got 40. Yeah. I trust him.
Sort of. I mean, they were. The last ones were bad. They were bad.
But what else did they talk about in the tech demo? It wasn't just the naked man. The tier. So I didn't quite catch that actually. Like somebody told it to me later. Yeah, where they talked about that there's different tiers, and I thought that was interesting.
So Mark Hamill's face and like Gary Oldman's face, they're tier 0. They're going to be the highest quality of face with loads of skin meshes, and you can see that the pupils super react to everything. There's going to be super high detail, all the works.
Yeah.
Tier 1 faces, I think they're reserved for characters and other high-level NPCs. And they're going to look super good. They're just not as much detail as Gillian Anderson's face.
Yeah.
But the one we saw was, I believe, an unpolished Tier 1 head. And...
they're always saying it'll look even better than this, and you're like, not possible.
I think that polished is going to look better than the old Gary Oldman head we saw, because
that was the not the people of the planet, but the bishop speech.
The bishop speech, but
like,
they
were just
even
saying
said that wasn't final.
Yeah, they were saying like that's shit compared to what we're gonna do.
And I love that because it's still really good looking. I mean, there are stuff that they can definitely improve on, but it looks fucking awesome. And if they're saying that like we're going to make this better and then polish it, I mean, that's fantastic. I just hope the gameplay's there as well, because Star Citizen can definitely make stuff look amazing. They proved this week on week. They proved this with all the demos and everything. And
soon we're going to figure out if they can do the gameplay side too.
And that's so exciting, because now we're getting to they're giving us the meat. They're going, now you've got some gameplay. I can deal with that. Did you think that was happening? Did you? I didn't. Oh, it's exciting.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for what happens. Not necessarily at 3.0, but soon after. In the 6 months following 3.0, I'm really excited to seeing what they do.
We're going to see his careers start to professionalize. So this is that cargo mechanics in. Cargo is the foundation for everything else that's not combat in the universe. Mm-hmm. It gives reasons to fight. It gives the foundation for economy and a million different jobs. And then you get all those jobs and all those foundations for those jobs, and then you start adding those extra other mechanics. You get boarding, you get gathering, like mining. You get all of that that relies on cargo, and just having cargo there, that's going to be trading. That's going to be piracy. Actually, have a point. That's going to be escort fighters. That's going to be bounty.
They talked about fleshing out the design of like trade routes and stuff, and if there are, I don't with the way quantum travel works now. And not knowing what interdiction's really going to be like quite yet, I don't really understand what trade routes, how that'll work.
In the monthly report,
it's exciting. Did I miss something in there?
Well, in the monthly report, they said there's 20 commodities that they've already talked about.
Yes. But which is like, wow, I did not expect that.
But they didn't tell us that any of them were.
No.
But then they say,
you can deduce what some of them may be. They're going to be some liquid ones. It looks like, because like you can tell by the cargo barrels that we saw in the cargo.
Which all the different variants and everything.
There was a liquid barrel. There looked like there was like an oil container. And then there was just dry goods, like anything.
Yeah,
they
there's
can
all
be
kinds of
guns, they
different
can be
stuff.
anything.
Yeah, they probably had
also
a weapons
said,
crate and vehicle crates and
Well,
the Dragonfly.
I don't know if that's a container that is part of that system.
it might
I'm
be.
almost positive Matt said something about that last week in the chat.
I think it will eventually be part of a system. I think you will. Be
Yeah,
able to
yeah, of course,
eventually
of
have
course.
ships and things like that.
But I don't think it's that initial group.
Well, so they talked about the first 20 commodities that you'll be able to collect, transport, and sell. But they've also iterated on designs for resource spawning, trade routes, and quantum fuel models. So that's all
Quantum fuel
part of,
models.
yes. So I'm assuming.
What do you think they mean by that?
Well, I assume that's partially how you collect quantum fuel, how you use quantum fuel, how it will be balanced, how you'll get it, like refine it. But also, I'm assuming it's possibly alluding slightly to that new star map system that we saw in 3.0.
Okay.
Click to teleport.
Yeah. And maybe it's more like, well, we have a whole lot more space. So how much fuel is going to be in it? How much fuel is it going to take to go from place to place?
All of that
probably
balancing
more
stuff will happen later on. It's just like all the weapons and the shields and all that number messing around with stuff.
Yeah, but they have to think about it now because our system just grew by 5 times.
Right, so as soon as that system starts coming in and everything, then they'll modify it. But all that stuff will all get really tightened down later on.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think
tightened down definitely. But
they'll just
it.
open it up. They might just open it up to whatever.
Think of it this way. Think of it this way: is they can actually in my opinion, they can actually tighten it down somewhat soon because I can't imagine that systems like once we get the Stanton system, this is the base of what a system will be. Probably the size of a system map or whatever.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So they're gonna know when I am in X system, to get from one side to the other, I need this much quantum fuel. It takes this much time in cruise or whatever. And they can come up with all those numbers and come up with that design now. Because after that, it's jump points.
Yeah.
To get to each system. And then each system can be
it's
like
also
a standardized size. Planets will be different distances. Yeah.
Everything. That's all. I mean, it's all going to fluctuate.
Of course, because planets and locations will be in different
places. Not all
places.
ships will have the same distance ability.
And I think that's where it comes down to. This is what they're talking about with.
And so what they
design.
might do is they might just do something like a blanket. Okay, all the ships that can quantum can just go everywhere for the time being, until they take a deeper look at it later on. Because it's not necessary that they go in and say, oh, this one can only go this far and this one can only go this far. Maybe they do it that way.
Yeah.
But it would make more sense that they just say, okay, everybody can go the same distance right now and all of that other stuff, and we'll lock that down later on. When it's more important, we're not working on
and they can
other
lock
things.
it based on fuel capacity. But when you're talking, what you might be talking about, Source, where it's like super done, is certain quantum engines are probably going to have certain like my engine gets 38 miles per gallon, but your truck gets 10.
Yeah. Well, not only that is how much fuel it can actually carry. So how far it can actually go. So maybe you can't get across the whole system without stopping at a station to refuel.
I do think that quantum drive is going to be important for something else as well. I think they're going to be, this is how I'm feeling at the moment, I think there'll probably be different qualities of quantum drive, which will be harder to interdict.
Oh, so, yeah, maybe.
Based on the size of your craft.
They require more fuel.
Or maybe it's based on your engines or whatever.
Yeah, I think there'll be some like quantum drives
this
that'll be
game.
harder to interdict.
They could do so many cool things. There's so many things they could do. And that's what's the best. That's why we have a podcast where 3 people just sit here and talk about a game that isn't finished yet. Because you can just there's so many ways they can go. It's awesome.
We've got Item System 2.0 coming into 3.0. 3.0 is going to have that full system there. I mean, it's not going to be fully fleshed out, and they're going to be adding to it and tightening it up. But it's the full backbone is going to be there. I believe that's correct anyway. Matt Sherman will probably correct me if I'm wrong.
Or it's just making stuff up.
But that's important. That's a major step. There are so many major things with 3.0 that have then been like, guys, this is a game. Deal with it. Bam, 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 bam.
It's pretty cool. And with 20 commodities, they're thinking about trade routes. I still don't understand what that might be.
Trade routes
it's so interesting to me.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Naturally forming trade routes.
Like, for example,
because you and me are trading from Stanton to
like there's a really good deal if you do this. Like you go to this planet, pick up these things, go to that planet.
Yep.
Okay.
And then all the pirate would need to do is go, I could make some money from trading that.
Let me sit at this quantum location because it's the quantum location in between the two planets. And everybody has to go through this route to get to that planet.
For me.
And back and forth.
There has to be some form of interdiction or preventing people from jumping away for piracy to be a thing in 3.0.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they must have thought of that.
I hope they did. Or maybe they're thinking about what I thought of, which doesn't really work, unfortunately, is because if you can just quantum out, there's no... Like, you can't blow up a Starfarer without it quantuming and getting away right now, if it wanted to, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, I hope they are thinking about that, and I think it's essential. If they're saying that, yes, piracy and all these things will become a thing in 3.0 because the gameplay's there, that would mean that interdiction, in some sense of the word, would have to be there.
Yes.
And I can't imagine that it comes down to, if you take damage to your ship, your quantum travel drive just resets and you have to charge it up again and go. Like, I feel like that's something that's just like a value or again, I don't make games, so I don't know, but it's something that they can possibly put in as a temporary thing until actual interdiction is there.
Yep.
Where you're pulling people out of quantum and stuff.
Can't have taken damage for 5 seconds and it takes a lot longer to spin up.
So and Matt Sherman says something in the chat, which we typically do say, but we haven't said yet. That a feature starts to become a thing doesn't mean the full scope of that feature would be in, though. Exactly. So, like, we're always going to see, so it's the first implementation of cargo, the first implementation of trade routes, the first implementation of the star system. Everything changes throughout. Like, look at how Crusaders changed since we've started, right? It's been gradually filling up, and lighting has changed, and there's missions involved, and FPS things, new ships. So yeah, I agree. It still ruined Ultima Online for me, Matt.
He did, didn't he?
Even though he still plays it.
I still play it. I've been playing it much more, but I can't right now.
Lore Makers went up today.
Devin. Yeah, Lore Makers came out, and it actually I haven't watched it yet because we were preparing for the podcast, but it's on the Nyx system. And it's kind of interesting because we're going to be getting a little snippet of the Nyx system soon. So
with Nyx 1 and Nyx 2 and Pyro, the jump to Pyro, all kinds of cool stuff. So we're just watching a little snippet of the video. I have it up right now. It's something that I'm also interested in as well because of piracy. What it is. Yeah. So yeah, just a heads up, you can find that on the Star Citizen official YouTube channel. But we can probably jump over into questions now.
Yeah.
If you guys are ready and are willing.
I'm ready. I don't know if I'm willing, but I don't know if I'm ready.
I see. Okay, so we have quite a few, and if you guys have any others you want to add, / question in chat. Also remember that we are doing a Dragonfly giveaway. Right now it's ! Dragonfly. It's a yellow Drake Dragonfly with LTI. You will have to be here to claim that, and we'll draw that at the end of the podcast here. Our first question from Isaiah, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Did you guys see the redacted Easter egg in the latest Bulkheads? Were any of you guys in that episode?
I was asked to be in it, but I wasn't able to record. But I don't think any of us were actually in it. But they reached out to us. I
haven't seen the latest Bulkheads.
I saw it. It said there was a pirate that was in there, and his name was redacted. So they threw a little thing for us, and it's cool. I like
copyright taking the video down.
Yeah, no. As I was about to say that it's really cool that the community is like there are different groups of people that do things, but we're all friends and we all get along and we shout out to each other, so stuff like that.
We don't always get along. Even we argue sometimes.
Oh, we argue. Oh, we argue. Sometimes. You guys should see our
a behind the scenes
show. Yeah. See our pregame show. It's pretty good.
We should.
The best is you should see when me and Proxus get in a call together.
Oh man.
We yell at each other.
Proxus yells at me.
Shifty McGee.
We all yell at you.
Asks, how do you foresee the pirate meta in 3.0 without the ability to currently disable ships?
I think we just talked about that.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see the ability to disable ships.
In 3.0?
Yeah. At least you don't think so? You don't think there's going to be interdiction?
Some way to stop them from jumping. So,
yeah.
Some way.
Disable ships and disabling quantum is different. Like when you say disabling ships, like we're talking about like shutting all their power systems down and they're standing there dead.
We have
that already.
Yeah, but that EMP.
I know they need to make it longer. They need just to make it longer.
There's no way that's the finished EMP.
Oh god,
it functions. It was like a tech demo of yes, if you went near somebody, this stuff would happen, but that can't be the way.
Who knows what happens once the Herald's in as well, right? Obviously, all the systems won't be working right away with 2.6 because that's when it's coming, but it'll already be in.
But will it be an info runner? No.
Who knows?
Will it be a hacker? Probably not.
Sad Boy MT asks, I would like to see or hear talk about older ships. Not ships to buy, but ships that are decades old, just to give the universe more depth. Okay.
They do that. There is lore. Mm-hmm. There's the Zeus. So you can look back in the lore. They've talked a lot about it. There's actually like a hangar flare of the Zeus, and it looks like one of the old. It looks like an updated version of what the
actual shuttles look like.
Yeah, like what the shuttles used to look like from that just kind of got decommissioned not too long ago. Yeah. There's older versions of the Hornet.
They talked about the Drake Lobster. Codename Lobster was a thing.
Really? I don't even remember that one. You're so into Drake that you would have caught that.
That's something that the dude who owns Silas Kerner or whatever.
Silas Kerner.
He owns one in his museum.
That's funny. So yeah, there will be stuff like that. The lore guys, like we talked about how good the art is. The lore guys for this game are really good. So trust me, they got you.
Zorky asks, Saurus, you talked about wanting the bombers to be able to bomb planetside. That sounds amazing and all, but don't you think people would kind of non-stop bomb landing zones? How would that be prevented in a good way? It gets a bit tedious. There's all kinds of ways they could prevent that. They could put some sort of bubble shield over the entire city. They could do anti-aircraft with that. They could do all kinds of security measures. How are they going to prevent you from going into a landing zone and just shooting everybody on foot? The same way that they prevent that, they just scale up to prevent air attacks. That's all.
They shoot you with guns.
and maybe some landing zones won't be immune to that. Maybe some landing zones you will be able to do that, but you have to find them.
Yeah.
It just, yeah. Handsome Devil 101 asks, do you guys have predictions of the next ship they will make flyable after the Herald and the Hoplite?
The Dragonfly.
The Dragonfly, the Caterpillar. They're both ships that we're seeing a lot of progress on and are getting nearer and nearer to completion. I wouldn't even be surprised if they got their Dragonfly in for 2.6. Maybe even the Caterpillar. I don't know how far they are on the Caterpillar, though.
So they did say that they're basically pretty much skipping the hangar ready step because it's so much easier. It's so easy for them to go straight from hangar ready to flight ready now. So yeah, I think it's possible as well. I think the Caterpillar's pretty close.
Yeah, the only thing is like what damage states with a ship like the Caterpillar.
What about the new Hornet? Do you think that's?
I don't think we're going to see that ship.
You don't think
after Squadron 42?
What about the new damage states and the improvements?
Well, I think we'll see it before Squadron 42. It's so important to Squadron 42. Why would we not see it before then?
As in, like, fly it?
Yeah.
If it's important to Squadron 42, why would they let us fly it before Squadron 42?
The same reason we fly all the other ships. Like, that's just how they've been about everything. Not really.
Really?
It's just a new design for the Hornet. It's not an F8 Lightning. We already have the ship.
Yeah, so they've shown us the F7A in detail.
I'm not talking about the F7A. I'm talking about the redesign of the civilian Hornet.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the F7A.
No.
So that's not anything to do with the Hornet or with Squadron 42.
But it is because the Hornet's in Squadron 42.
Yeah, the F7A is.
Right. I would assume so are all the other ones. They're important to both Star Citizen and Squadron 42, I would imagine. And I would imagine that those reworks of them coming in.
See the F7As.
You're not going to see civilian models on a military ship.
No, but you see them in the background.
Yeah, of course.
Flying around and stuff. Right? Just like you're not going to see a Mustang on a military ship either. But they're there. You know, Auroras. Nobody's going to... Come on. Military's not going to use an Aurora.
I mean...
The Aurora ring.
Let's be real here. Or like a Reliant or whatever. There's all kinds of stuff I can make examples of that, and to say that that's a bad example to use. I think that they shown the rework concept art of the Hornet, and that I imagine they would be wanting to work on that as soon as possible, based on they want to bring that out soon. So that could be the next thing after those ships.
The Hornet Mark II. Yeah, I do think we will see that relatively soon, sooner or later, because they need to get that ready for Squadron 42. So it might as well be done.
Recon Up asks, with the recent news of cargo, one of my small ships is a Hull A. When do you think the Hull A will be implemented, and what do you think the interior will include? Just a seat and a bed, a toilet, etc. Love all your streams. Yes, that includes you, Bored, and your push-ups.
I don't think we're going to see the Hull ships for a little while. They have had like zero mention of those ships. And when they first came out with them, they mentioned how important they were to have in Squadron 42. Do you remember that?
Some sort of cargo
ship.
They
needed a few of them to have cargo ships flying in the background.
They need to be driving stuff back and forth and whatever. It makes sense. So, I don't know. So
they mentioned that, but then we haven't heard anything like literally nothing about those ships.
That's because they might be working on them.
The sale.
That's because they might be on that. That might be Squadron 42. That might be.
I really hope you're right. But because a lot of ships do have cargo, they don't need, like with a lot of ships, like let's say the Orion or the Prospector, those ships have to kind of come online to show a fully fleshed like mining system. But with the with things like cargo, ships have cargo, so you don't need that dedicated cargo ship to show off how cargo works.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So.
I mean, you have freelancers.
It's an interesting ship because they're like the hero cargo ships. They're like the end-all, be-all cargo ships, but they don't necessarily need to have them in
to implement that mechanic. But maybe they could be coming in with 3.0.
When they're going to be there.
They may be working on them without saying anything and just being like, "Oh, here they are." Because I mean, when you think about it, there's not a lot of fanfare around those ships. Like they are basically just one thing, and bringing them in right now without a cargo mechanic doesn't. I mean, I guess we have ships that don't have any use without their mechanics in, like the Snub Fighters, the Dragonfly when it comes in, things like that. But
Callus090 said he talked about it in an interview at Gamescom. So one of those random interviews that they had with like all these different people that were interviewing, it might be in there. I asked him to link it to me, so he'll maybe throw it in the chat, and you guys can see for yourselves what he says.
Yoko Rose asks, what are you really hoping to see from CitizenCon? P.S. It's 3 weeks and 4 days away.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
Guys, we got 420 people watching us. Blaze it.
Vitnation!
I think, I hope we see some more Squadron 42, maybe like a trailer or something like that.
I want Star Marine release.
I think he said they said if you like what they've said this twice now. I've heard Jared say it and I heard Chris say it. If you like what you saw at Gamescom, and I think what they meant was with the 3.0 demo, you're really going to like what we do at CitizenCon. And he mentioned the planets were only V1 and all that stuff.
Well, maybe we'll see planets with vegetation and stuff like that. We know they've been working on that.
Yeah,
we're going to see more landing zones in place.
Like,
I would imagine
if they did that same demo and did it again with planets V1 or whatever, version 2 or whatever, I forgot what they called it, is I think that'll, like, if they did the same demo with just like updated stuff, it might still. They're not going to, obviously.
What I want to see is obviously the Squadron 42 stuff and some new cool tech and stuff. I want to see an evolution of combined arms. I want to see capital ships fighting, then continuing their fight through fighters and stuff onto the ground. That's what I want to see.
That would be pretty cool. Or going from one planet to another planet.
Oh yeah, and then fight on a base.
But there's a couple things I want to see. Number one is 2.6 by then. I think that's really important so they can start working on 3.0 to hit that date. I think that by CitizenCon we should have.
I think they're totally separate products, and they're working on 3.0. It doesn't matter when 2.6 is released for them. For 3.0 to meet its deadline.
Yeah, but I still
links in the chat,
would like
but it's
to
30
see
minutes long.
2.6 with Star Marine and the new mechanics and whatever for FPS. At CitizenCon, I would like to see more Squadron 42 stuff. I'd like them to talk about what. Hopefully, they have a lockdown date that they can announce for Squadron 42.
Yes,
that's right. Really whether it's this year or next year, I want a lockdown date for that.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, I think that's about it, really. Like the planet side stuff and the 3.0 stuff, obviously, we want to see more of that. Maybe they can show like more players actually being in together. Maybe they can show some work on the network side of things. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that or not, but it would be nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be good. If it's anything like what they did to me at Germany, which was basically, this is going to be so awesome, and they just literally smirked at us the whole time and smiled. Yeah, if it's anything like that, it'll be pretty awesome.
Southern Jumper,
and they're kind of doing that now.
With Squadron 42 around the corner, how fast do you think things will start to really come together now that they have done tons of work to the engine and tools in the last few years?
Faster and faster. I mean after 3.0 drops,
we just talked about how they're skipping the hangar ready phase, right? And they're just bringing stuff right in where they're getting assets and stuff like that. And that's the thing, is they have a ton of artists that are working for them. So now it's just bringing in the assets and getting the HUDs ready and doing all this other stuff and implementing those mechanics and making sure they all work seamlessly and whatever. But it does, as they get more and more of that base built, because they took their time building that base and making sure that things can be implemented within it. I mean, it's really important that they've done that. So I think it's going to be growing like that. Once again, guys, if you have any questions, _question in chat, whether they're from me individually or Twerk or BoredGamer or all of us about the channels or the game or anything. We also have a Dragonfly giveaway happening right now for a yellow Drake Dragonfly with LTI, !Dragonfly in chat. Just make sure you're following the channels associated to our different content stuff. So BoredGamer, myself, and Twerk. Syracuse23 asks, is there any info about the gravity of planets? At what points does the planetary gravity kick in? Is it like landing pads? Or are they simulating something somewhat realistic already in 3.0? Because there's no... He said 2.7
That's actually a good
3.0.
question.
I'm really hoping they have different gravity levels for different planets. I don't want to...
They definitely will. But what he's... And, like, we can go into that. But what he's asking is, you know how when you get close to a landing pad, it's all of a sudden just like... And then you fall?
Yeah.
I think he's asking, like... Are they doing more with that? Are they iterating on that? And that's a really good question, because I don't know.
Is there a way for them to fade that out, though? Do you know what I mean? Like where you slowly fall down and then start to speed up instead of just instant like fall.
Yeah. I wonder, but what you were saying, yeah.
Because I'd like.
There's definitely going to be different gravity on other planets.
I'd like to see like a capital ship gets blown up, and you see it like wreckage start spinning off or whatever, and you see some of that wreckage get pulled into the planet, or you see some of it burn up in the atmosphere because of gravity and its velocity and trajectory and stuff. So, I mean, it's semi-important, but they can fake that, can't they? Quite heavily. They don't need real gravity. They can just fake it, and that will still be good.
Yeah, and they talked recently about how they were going to get the gravity to work like on a sphere for all the planets pretty recently, and it was like not a bit of a challenge, but it's not how CryEngine worked, I guess. They have to change the way their gravity system was. I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, I remember.
I'm not here this week.
I don't know. I think the editing of gravity levels is something built in within CryEngine, so it's something they're able to change.
That's one thing they said, is that like the
like whether
if you're on Mars, they can easily just
whatever.
change the numbers, and you can do little jumps.
Right,
and it should work.
Steve J 1397 asks, how would you like to see bounty hunter missions handed out? Have a bounty and anyone can try and collect on it, and it's open until someone has collected on it? i.e. killed or returned someone.
Yeah.
Or have a mission that a single person or group has to start the bounty before it can be collected. So basically just a one-off thing. I like the idea of having multiple people go after it, like a bounty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they go after each other.
And then,
to get the bounty.
They're their own obstacles.
Like on a total opposite side of that is I still hope that we're able to put out our own bounties if we wanted to.
Yes.
That we
like,
pay
so I could put a bounty out on Twerk.
Like I can add something to the
2 million UEC into that, and anybody can just go and do it. And as soon as somebody's killed him, as soon as someone's accepted the mission and killed him, then that's it.
Yeah, and it comes up on my HUD, the person who gave out the bounty. You know, bounty completed,
maybe not necessarily.
2 million deducted from your account or something like that.
I would imagine it would deduct it from your account prior. So it would take it out of your account so you don't
and it would
spend
hold it.
And then hold it.
Yeah.
And then whoever accepts it,
yeah,
then they just get it automatically as soon as it's complete. Or it gets split between the group or however that they're going to work on that.
I like the enforced contract system like that because they were talking about similar things with the enforced contract system. So, yeah, cool.
Yeah. Steve J as BoredGamer, are you liking streaming now?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's quite it's a lot more fun for me because I haven't been doing it as much as
what are you trying to say? It's not
more
fun.
Novel.
I find it fun.
And YouTube's not fun.
Well,
how do your YouTube subs feel about that?
Oh, go fuck yourselves. So, because it's more novel for me, is certainly so that novelty hasn't worn off. Where it's exciting. It's sort of like it's not a job at all. It's oh, this is cool. This is a bit scary. Whereas the Star Citizen YouTube stuff is very much more. I've got a system in place for it. I know exactly what I'm doing. It's not pioneering as much anymore as streaming is for me. So, yeah, I enjoy that I'm doing it. I don't think I'd ever become a proper streamer. But I'd like the idea of maybe doing it twice a week, to support the YouTube and to connect with the community because that's what I want. Community connection because that's how you grow your channels.
There you go.
For real.
Major Crash.
Like, I want to do some more YouTube.
Yes, and I want you to do more YouTube. And more YouTube.
Major Crash asks, if the Hornet wins the best fighter poll and goes on sale, will people who purchase the one get the new version of the Hornet when it's updated? I know CIG said they were going to keep the old version and wondering how that's going to work. I imagine everybody who has that ship is just going to get an option, a free upgrade to the new version, or they'll be able to keep the old version.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
That's what they said.
Which one?
Any of the Hornets.
Like if I have the Hornet F7C, I'm going to have the option to upgrade to the new model of the Hornet F7C when it comes out? I don't think that's their intention.
That's what they said.
I think for a week they'll have a free upgrade.
Yeah.
Totally think.
That's what
they want older ships. They want to have the old ships in the game.
So you have your choice. They're not going to be selling the old ship again. So they go, we've got the new one. You're more than welcome to upgrade to the new one, but you might as well keep the old one.
Perhaps. Maybe as a limited thing. Yeah, like for a limited time.
Yeah, for a week, I'm thinking.
I mean, that's what they said. They said that you're going to be able to choose. You can either choose the new one or the...
I didn't hear that either.
Yeah, I never heard that. I always heard that they wanted to have the
when they
older ships in and the newer ships in. When the newer ships come out, the old ships become
You could
classics.
upgrade to the new one, or you could just keep the old one.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense as well.
Commander Riker asks, in the August monthly report, Foundry 42's graphic update mentions new developments in secondary cameras. This seems absolutely huge, from opening up gameplay elements from ship-to-ship comms or watching ship areas from captain's seat. How do you think the secondary cameras will be implemented in Star Citizen? I think they're just talking about for like in-game machinima and stuff like that. I don't think you're going to be using any of the external cameras for actual gameplay.
Like as combat, like advantages.
Yeah, I just don't think that's going to happen.
I need to see how it's implemented. I don't know. I know it's cool, but I don't know how it's going to be used.
Do you know what I wonder? There was a long time ago in FPS discussions where the FPS, when you're involved in FPS, you're locked at first person. I wonder if that'll come in with Star Marine. Are we going to start third personing?
I don't think you're going to be. You can't. You can't. You'll get shot. You can't aim with that.
What if you're okay? There's a cover system.
Yeah.
Cover, third person, press Z, move your camera.
Yeah, but they said that the camera is going to move depending on where your cover is and things like that, and bring it in so you can't see around corners.
Yeah, I just wonder. I hope they do that.
Yeah.
So, again, not something I've heard yet.
Dividend asks, why isn't anybody talking about the city Terra Nova version 2 that was data mined out of Star Citizen? Because we talked about it last week.
No, they did a way better version of it, and it's because I forgot to put it in the doc.
Oh.
So we'll talk about it next week.
There you go.
Yeah, well, yeah, we did talk about we talked about the old one last week.
It looks fucking amazing. I just don't have the link, and
let's see.
We'll show it next week.
Commander Riker asked me a question. Do you think FPS elements for Star Marine will, and this can go to anybody, will translate into the PTU for the 2.6 patch? Yeah, I think any FPS elements that come in, whether they be leaning, the cover system, new weapons, new armor, all of that stuff will come into both.
It just works the opposite. The 2.6 patch is what will integrate into Squadron 42.
Persistent Universe, Star Citizen. Is what
I don't have the link, so if anybody has the link, link it.
Chris Troyolator asks, what is the expected rating for Star Citizen? Will there be gore, dismemberment? What degree of sexual content? I have a younger sibling I'd like to get a game for. They're not aiming for anything in particular. They're not going to go out of their way to try and make it overly gory or anything like that, but they're not going to go out of their way.
Yeah, they obviously want it as low as possible.
I think there'll be some cursing.
Yeah, they obviously want it as low as possible. So
there'll be like drug and alcohol use and violence and
murder.
Stuff like that.
Maybe not super bloody murder. We haven't seen blood yet.
It could be anywhere from teen to mature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, it's not really that relevant. But I mean, that's sort of where it's coming from. It's especially with online interaction, which won't be rated, right? So online, like Star Citizen itself might not be rated, period. Right? Like they can't,
it's an online,
because it's online. They could only rate Squadron 42. So Uber
and
Nerd,
Squadron 42 might be lower than what you would typically see in an MMO, right?
How many names like Luke Skywalker 69 or Han Solo 42 do you think we'll see when Star Citizen goes live?
Well, there's
69,000.
We'll see one of each of those examples.
Yeah.
I hate numbers after names. I hate them. Choose originality.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to... There's always going to be that in every game. Commander J. Shepard asks, how many kinds of scanners will be in the game, and specifically, what will they scan for?
69 scanners.
69 scanners that'll scan for sexual content.
No, all kinds of scanners. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think we can really answer that question at this point because we don't know. We know they'll be doing things for scanning for mining, scanning for explosives, scanning for jump points, scanning for other ships, scanning cargo.
The Herald's going to have its own scanning systems. The Endeavor's going to have its own.
The Carrack will have its own thing. The medical scanning stuff. It's just hard to say at this point. Chris asked, not really a question, more of a suggestion. I have a new career idea. I was thinking of dealing with stream snipers. Twitch streamers can hire personal bodyguards to protect them while they're broadcasting. Do you think this is a valid career? I mean, you can just hire people. It's just escorts, right? It would be the same. But no, I don't think that's going to be something that's going to prevent stream sniping.
I mean, it depends where you are in the verse.
Yeah,
if you're in safe space, I don't think you're going to get stream sniped.
They may
so
even
much.
implement something in game that is streamer friendly, and which will hide that information from the actual stream. So,
Soros, the link's in the chat. Can you see the chat, or do you want me to put it in the doc?
I can see it, but I can't pull it up. So if you can put it in the questions doc, that would be fantastic. Because that's what I have.
Questions doc, I can't get to right now.
Okay, well that's what I'm in right now.
Doc.
I have everything else closed. So if you can submit it as a question, and I can see it.
Yes, that'll be the way I do it. Because my Chrome's messed up, I can't get to the questions doc.
Commander J. Shepard asks, what do you think the actual in-game result of signal jamming or scrambling will be? Example, if you jam or scramble an enemy's combat computer, will you be able to prevent their computer from targeting onto you? Maybe you just can't see your HUD. Maybe you can't see your targets. Maybe it'll disable your targets. Maybe it just won't allow you to do any more additional targets.
Yeah, you can't fire missiles or something.
There's a lot of things that you could still fire, but maybe it jams your weapons. Like there could be different things that they could implement in that. It just sort of depends on what direction they want to go with that. Will radiation affect things like ship sensors and radars? Will be hazardous to your health? They've talked about corrosive materials and large temperature changes. I don't know anything about radiation because I don't know if they've actually talked about that. But I imagine like flying too close to a star or anything like that would be not good for your health of your ship, especially.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to see things like,
I don't know if they
oh,
put
you're
it,
going to get you're going to get cancer from radiation or something like that.
I don't think so.
Wow.
That'd be crazy.
I don't think they would implement that in the game. Feral Wolven asks, I keep hearing various sources mention that you might be able to use different armor on different arms and legs for things like leaning out to cover. Do you guys or Sherman know if this is true? Well, none of us are Matt Sherman, but he is in the chat.
We know that you're about to put different armors on modularly, so
yeah. So I mean, I don't know how that's gonna work. I think it'll just be the chest and arms. But BoredGamer seems to think the arms will be separate. I'm not.
No, not individually separate.
No, they said that they even mentioned that on
that.
RTV. They want that, but they don't know if they can do it because of performance.
Arms, legs, chest, head, separate locations.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking. But arms together as one location. Start with. They want to do it totally modularly eventually, but it might be too much, as you said, a performance drain. So.
Yeah, NPCs are on ships, and I'm mainly on ships and ship systems, is what Matt Sherman said.
Copod93 asks, will there be quantum jump ships which will be like a ferry? For example, you can ferry your Avenger Titan. So like carrier ships that are just specifically for carrying other smaller ships. Not that I've heard of, but it's not a bad idea.
I think you can put them in like Khalees, like you can just have them in a giant
I think
crate.
that you can, or you can just attach them to those pods.
Yeah,
that may be a possibility.
Yeah, it's a car carrier. Yeah. That sounds like a good idea.
I mean, it's a cool idea. I don't know if it's something they must have thought about it at some point, but who knows? Next question is from Commander J. Shepard. Will we get a real navigation computer that will allow us to chart our own course in space using 3D coordinates, like a submarine does? Not that I've heard.
I think you're going to see what you saw in the 3.0 demo look nicer.
Yeah. I think
and
we'll
not
see
as
that.
Flat.
But I don't think it's like...
So 3D, maybe. I would expect it... I think they wanted to make it look as much as like the star map as they have on the website.
Right.
I think exploring in space is going to be a lot to do with scanning. So you might not necessarily be able to go, I want to go to this part of this area of space where there might be something, but it looks like nothing. It'll be more like, oh, I've scanned something and something could be there. Double click on it, go there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be like free reign. Although they did say it will take 20 to 40 minutes to fly from one end of a sector of space to another. One's like system. So maybe your kids, if you're crazy. You can do this all day.
All day. Our next question from Ferkelson says Terra Tower, and then a link.
Yeah. Who's that guy? I think he's trying to be like me.
Ferkelson? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
It's got to load. It's going to take a minute.
Twerks 96 is his alter ego. She's so funny.
It's so sick what this guy did.
We showed
and this is basically what we showed last week and what he's done since last week.
We're still loading.
Oh, wow.
So I'll answer another question while we're doing this here.
It's like a million gigs of RAM, just so you know.
Oh, that's okay. I have 32 intensive on this machine, so we're good.
Okay,
yeah. We're good. Captain Jonesy asks, do you think CIG should make a gravity slide? Oh, a gravity slide for the Dragonfly. Like when you're turning sideways, it like sort of skids along. Like in Jet Moto. Or like Mario Kart. Sideways. That'd be kind of cool. Oh yeah, this is much better.
Yeah. Click on number 7 or 6.
Okay, hang on 1 second. Let me go to the video here.
It is so cool, dude.
That is very cool. Oh, it zoomed me too far. My clicks are too far for my...
Matt Sherman said, I don't know why I just started calling him Sherman. Just randomly today started calling him Sherman. He said Dragonfly actually already kind of does that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Looking at all of these...
So look at that statue.
Yeah, the statue is really cool.
Yeah,
Everything
I wonder
is really cool. The amount
what
of
that does.
The plant, like just the whole planet is cool.
Yeah,
now,
man.
do you think they're gonna make this whole city? Now, I don't expect them to make every building enterable, obviously. But do you think?
No.
Do you think that we're gonna see this whole city explorable on foot?
No way. I mean, that would be nuts, man. That'd be nuts. I'll put the link to this in the chat, okay?
Like, and if just they had like generic interiors for some of the buildings.
Well, you probably wouldn't be able to get into a lot of the buildings.
Yeah, I would imagine most.
It'll be like
locked
most
or
video
whatever.
games. I feel like where you just.
That's a. I mean, that's a pretty big
through.
city.
I think that we're going to have a unprecedented level of exploration ability, even with something like this, and we'll be able to see and do a lot, and they'll probably open more and more areas up eventually. And I do think we're going to be able to explore a lot of this. I feel it in my loins. Got a good feeling.
Look at how big it is.
Yeah, that's what she said. Mm.
That'll be nuts. No, she's never said that to either of us, I don't think.
No, she hasn't.
She hasn't, has she? No. Feels bad, man. But I have a feeling like we're going to be on rails. That's how I feel about it. We're going to be on like there looks like there's some tram or some roads.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to get feel like we're going to get like I don't know, we're going to ride on a tram to a certain other hero
areas
location.
for us similar to what they have for Area 18. But I also feel like this is going to be like the areas will be more spread out. And so yeah, you get on the train and hang out on the train
and more areas on one location.
Right.
You know, like on Terra will be boom boom boom, a bunch of like how there's numbered areas here, maybe there'll be numbered areas. Like those numbered areas will be locations that we can go to.
Really,
so we kind of have to fast travel to.
Really excited about
big skyscrapers hovering over the rest of the houses.
Yeah. I'm really excited to get a dragonfly and scoot around the water on the coast and stuff.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. Our next question.
Imagine if we can buy condos there. That's what somebody said in the chat.
Oh, that's what they said. They wanted us to do. Once again, Chris.
That'd be so
Chris
sick.
has said there was going to be property beyond just hangars.
That'd
on
be
planet
sick.
side for stuff for like apartments and condos and whatever. Gumby17 asks, any update on ship sales for CitizenCon or anniversary? I need an Endeavor Discovery class. Nothing that we've heard of or that I've heard of yet. Have you guys?
No,
heard
but
of
expect the Endeavor to go on sale at some point. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't one of those number limited ships.
No, it'll go on, whenever they do the anniversary sale. They usually come up.
Yeah, and they put them like what they did last year, right? For the anniversary sale, was certain ships were sold on certain days, and then the last day every ship was sold, right? It was something like that. So just hang tight a couple months, and you should be able to see it go for sale, most likely.
Nelsis asks, I feel that the current stations are too small. What are your thoughts on station size? These are the first ones that we have.
They're not too small. It's you're locked. It's just like what we were talking about with the planet, where you're locked to a certain area.
There's a lot more of that station that's there.
There's a lot more of that station that.
Like for example, I imagine they will start to flesh out and build out more explorable areas in Olisar, for example,
and Grimhex, which we already know they're doing because there's the racing tunnel, there's the bar,
there's all those other hangars and everything. So those will get built out as time goes on.
Exactly.
We're just seeing the first implementations of things.
Yep. You go to Cryastro services, for example, and there's you
I was just going to say that.
There. Yeah.
There's a door. You can go downstairs, and there's a door there. You just can't go in yet.
Yeah. I thought it was a bug first time I found it in 2.0. It was like
maybe 3.0.
Man. Servers crashed.
Yeah. It took me 5 minutes to get here. I lasted for 5 minutes. High five, guys.
There'll be like it would have taken 2 hours for you to get your friend into the same game as you.
Yeah.
And then
the server
you'll be like,
crash.
Oh man. You hear this, Smash Sherman? You ruined Ultima Online and had crashy servers of 2.0.
Ruined.
It's your fault.
It's your fault.
Darylus asks,
he's like, I just make the ships, guys. I just make the ships.
Do you think, since we saw such a large demo of the Freelancer during Gamescom, that we will have the Freelancer Dur and Max ready by 3.0? We haven't heard anything about them even working on those. And from what I understand is they want to implement base ships, all of the base ships first before they start really working on the variants. And the first variant we've really heard them working on, of the larger ships anyways, is the Constellation. Now, granted, it's not as large.
Why you saw the Freelancer?
Yeah,
it's the only ship that made sense for that demo.
Right, and the HUD and everything as well with it. So
it's the only ship that you could have put a Dragonfly in the back of.
So
done all that dogfighting.
Because they're doing the Aquila, do we think it's either appearing in Squadron 42 or do we think that it's important for 3.0?
I think it's important for exploration. So maybe 3.0 or shortly thereafter.
Mm-hmm. It's got the Air's a rover, isn't it?
Yeah.
Inside it. So
it's the first one that has the rover, and they have the rover ready, obviously. So they want people to be able to use that, and you can't use it unless you can get it down to planets.
I'm hoping we get because I've got a Carrack. I'm hoping I get a Aquila loner. Matt Sherman, make it happen.
Ubi Montreal Legion asks, with 3.0, will there be planetary rotation in your opinion? We know that rotation and orbit are going to be a thing that they're doing. However, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be in the first implementations of those planets. We don't see it now with the moons and everything, and I don't think we're going to see it right away, but I think it will be something that does eventually come in. I don't think it's going to be coming in with 3.0, though. What are your guys' thoughts?
I think it's something they might attempt to fake later. I know they've talked they actually want it in.
That's how they're wanting to do their day-night cycles and everything. Mm-hmm. Right? So I know for a fact that they want to bring that in. Whether all of that stuff is or not is completely separate. I don't think it'll be in for 3.0. No Filter asks, currently it feels like space combat is a little one-sided via ship size. For example, some ships are extremely easy to hit for being so large, whereas small ships such as the Kartual are insanely difficult to hit. Do you think this works as intended or needs balancing? I think that's
time to kill.
I think that's
after you.
I think that's the intention for how hard they are to hit, but know that they're like, I don't know if this is what Board was going to say, but their time to kill is a lot lower. Like blowing up an M50 is a lot easier than blowing up a Hornet, for example, and they don't have the firepower to back that up. So,
but that's time to kill is going to be going up for the larger ships.
Yeah,
like the Constellations and stuff.
Definitely.
They want to make repair a thing, but they also want to make repair something that you do in battle. So
and
you
also,
have to choose.
Also, they need to make it so you can use the escape pods and things like that, because right now that's not a thing.
And I was going to add something extra is in 2.6 they're going to be doing flight model updates, and that's going to add to changes of well, this ship's really slow and sluggish, and and I don't know how they plan on doing it, but
those will continue to happen throughout the development. Scoustis asks, how do you see ship mass affecting interdiction?
Well, the larger ships will be able to have larger quantum drives, which will...
You might need some sort of larger gravity interdiction weapon. A different...
Yeah, maybe it's not necessarily mass, but maybe it's cross-section. Could matter.
Yeah, could matter. It could just be down to the quality of the quantum drive, and quantum drives for larger ships are more expensive, so people skimp out on interdiction tech for it. So it just goes, you can take anything that's large out of thing. People just draw in Bengals out of fucking warp. This little tiny fighter.
I don't know if that's the greatest idea. Ivuk asks, which ship did you vote for, the M50 or the 350? I voted M50.
Okay, I'm dumb. I didn't understand the thing. So I voted for the 350 because they were like, what's the best ship? And I was like, well, the fastest ship is the 350. Even though my favorite ship out of the two is by far the M50. I voted for the 350.
You monster, Twerk. You're a monster.
Yeah, I'm dumb.
Ubi Montreal Legion.
Wait. Sorry, wait. Okay. What did you guys vote for in the current one, the combat ship one?
I haven't voted, but I vote the Super Hornet.
You vote the Vanguard, yes, Twerk?
I love the Vanguard. It doesn't make any sense to be in that thing.
No.
But I like the Vanguard. It should have been Saber versus...
it should be the Saber and the Super Hornet.
Or they should have waited.
No, because it's combat ship of the year. It's not dogfighter of the year.
Right.
Combat ship. They're not talking about dogfighting specifically.
I think they should have waited then.
Yeah, because
if they're going to do this, they should have waited until the things are more balanced. Because the Vanguard versus a Super Hornet, it's just not. I don't think it's necessarily a fight right now.
It's not hard to take out a Vanguard.
Not really.
No. And their weapons.
I love flying the Vanguard in combat, though. I don't give a shit about my score.
Yeah.
It's fun, so I play with it.
Oh, but you do.
I love the Vanguard.
What about you? What did you pick?
I mean, I haven't picked. I haven't chosen yet.
Yeah.
Because I saw Combat Ship of the Year, and I went, I don't know some of the stuff that the Vanguard can do because we don't have the mechanics for it.
I look at it this way. This is how I'm looking at it. Not only from an internal game perspective, from outside a game perspective. Obviously, they're going to release that for sale based on the votes. For the amount of people that have asked me, when can I buy a Super Hornet compared to when can I buy a Vanguard, nobody's ever asked me to buy a Vanguard. Ever. So
yeah, maybe I'll vote for the Super Hornet just for your friends.
Well, it's not my friends, it's the viewers.
No,
right?
I know.
It's 53%.
It's a bad joke. It was a bad joke.
Favor of the Warden at the moment.
Well, there you go.
We gotta stop that.
I don't even know where that is. I haven't
we gotta
seen
stop that for the Twitch community that wants to buy their Super Hornet.
Right?
You're a Twitch streamer now, Bored.
Yeah, get on it, Jesus. Take some responsibility for once. God damn it. This isn't all just fun and games, all right?
You voted for the Warden, twat.
I haven't voted yet.
Oh, have you not? Okay.
No.
Ubi Montreal Legion asks, with Elite Dangerous sending out a poll lately to know if players prefer to transfer the ships instantly or with a delay, which way do you think CIG will go? It will take
a more realistic way.
Yeah, so they'll have to ship it over or build it or whatever.
Delay makes sense for economy, so they want delay.
Yeah, they'll go with the more realistic way almost always.
As long as it works within still being fun. And it just makes sense. There's no whatever. Watch'em90 asks, any information about wormholes or the jump points and how they'll work? They'll go from one system to another, and you go through them. You'll need to navigate them manually, unless you have the little things that stick out like the carrot that'll just guide you along them.
If anyone can link the GIF of Chris Roberts explaining wormholes, please do.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I'm signing into my account to vote right now, and I changed my IP, so now it's killing me. I gotta sign in like Google Authenticate, like a million things.
Actually, that's a... Oh, no, it's not Matachi. It's Aimless Lays. That's a really good thing. So if you want the Super Hornet, hashtag Dixep Super Hornets. Lol.
We said we'd stop that, Bored. I thought we said we'd stop.
You told me to bring it back. You're taking some responsibility.
I don't remember that. All right, I voted for the Super Hornet. I did my part.
Algebraic. I feel like you are a Adventure Time fan. Asks, is there any concept art for any of the terrestrial locations, or do you know how much flora will play a part in environmental design? The game feels very barren right now. Well, there's the Terra Prime stuff that we just showed you, but they've talked about the trees and the shrubbery and the plants and flora and fauna and everything and all of that stuff, and I think we're going to see a lot of that during CitizenCon.
Yeah,
and you can look up, I'm not sure how to find it. What are they called? Galactic Guides, right?
Yep.
Just type Galactic Guide. Go to, you can type in !RSI, I think, in the chat right now. It'll give you the link to the website. And then put Galactic Guide in the search bar on the top, and it'll bring up a bunch of different systems. And you'll see in the like extraterrestrial systems, you can see some of their architecture and some of their flora and things like that. So, it's not in the game right now, but you can see concept art of what they're planning on putting in the game.
Commander Riker asks, what do you think will be the benefits of being a citizen in addition to what has already been stated? I don't even... Okay, I've kind of ignored that because I felt like it was going to change over time what a citizen actually meant. So I actually don't know what you get for being a citizen right now. That was something I've always kind of just was like, whatever about right now.
I think you'll have better reputations with certain people. I think NPCs will talk to you differently.
Yeah.
So when
depending on the NPC, yeah.
You'll get different reputations, access to different things slightly differently. Like I think that when you get missions and stuff, the mission will talk to you slightly dynamically differently. Like it'll be like, this is for a citizen rather than a normal player. Just like a couple of words changed around, stuff like that to make it a bit different. I don't think it's actually going to be a huge difference at all. So,
yeah,
I mean,
I don't think it'll be a huge
Source
difference
is obviously
from
not going to be. I mean, he may, or I don't really know how it's going to work. But if you're a priority person, I doubt you're going to be a citizen. And I don't think he's going to have a giantly different experience than we would have, other than the fact that he's playing on another side where, you know, his main location might be a little different than ours, and he might be talking to different NPCs, but I think his overall game experience won't be vastly different than someone like Bored and I, who want to, you know, just kind of truck around and mine. As for right now, we might find something that we really like doing that isn't involved in that. But
do you think if you're a really good stealth pirate that you could still be a citizen and no one would ever know?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the whole Comrade gameplay. Is you turn a Comrade down and nobody knows that
you're there.
People there. Yeah,
that's sort of the point.
So. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what I meant by like maybe Soros will be a citizen.
Yeah,
because maybe he'll play that game and still be able to come.
We'll have to see whatever is the most effective.
Terra and trade there or something, because it's a really good trading hub, or you know, I'm just kind of throwing things.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how effective and how much, if the work is worth it or not.
Yeah,
if the work isn't worth it, then I'm probably not going to do that. I'll take the path of the least resistance.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, you know,
in the end, it's about doing what you find is really fun.
Not only what is really fun, but what is really effective. Like, what happens if every time I ask someone to pull over and just drop some cargo out, they decide to fight me? I'm going to stop doing that. I'm just going to start fighting everybody and just take them out right away. It really depends on not only how the game plays out, but how players react and interact with what I'm trying to do. Yeah. Right? If I say, hey, transfer me 10,000 UEC for every time you pass by me, and they try to fight me every single time, whether they can fight me or not, then I'm just going to start skipping that step. You know, if it's too hard for me to go in and turn off, or it's the amount of money, I only make a small percentage for trading it in Terra as opposed to just off of Terra, and I have to shut down all these systems and deal with security and have the potential of being caught and all this other stuff, and it's not worth it, then I'm not going to do it. Even if there is a small little benefit, it's a time benefit as well. So we'll have to see.
Is the biggest, you know, commodity, I think, for most people.
Our next question from Matrack1 is, what do you guys think about Planetary Gate that we saw in the 3.0 demo? We all know that the idea comes from the Freelancer game, but for Star Citizen, I think it's going to get weird. Not really. I don't think so. I think it'll be a block jump point if somebody's there right at the moment you try to go there.
It's literally the place to quantum travel near a landing location.
Yeah, to go and line up for the landing zone.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
You don't need to fly through the gate to get down to the planet. You just need to quantum to the gate.
I think some planets, like the city planets, you'll have to go to them.
It might be like a security scanner, like you have at the airport.
That's what I think. I think that's how they're going to start restricting your airspace.
But you could just go to the other side of the planet and land and cruise around.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Right. So who knows? But right now, I think that's sort of what their plan is for that.
Yeah. From what we saw, that seems like you just do your thing.
And we have 2 questions left, and that's actually really good timing. Grovek, what do you think the planet sizes should be like? Smaller and therefore manageable, or realistically sized? I think they're going more on the size of realism for planets.
I think they're smaller than normal planets, but they're realistic.
I mean, they're smaller, but they're still ginormous, right? Like a quarter the size of Jupiter is still huge.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Mr. Sherman, do you know if they're a quarter sized?
That's what they said. They said they're a quarter.
Quarter.
Yeah, you aren't pulling that number out of nowhere.
Matt makes the ships board. He makes the ships.
You'll know.
No, I know he'll know. Because you have to know that stuff to make the ships.
Kieranson asked, the last time I heard jump points described, Chris said that the known jump points will have the choice of using known route automatically or trying to find about a route manually. Has this changed recently? Not really. This is something that it could fork off, and you could find other entrances and exits and things like that, and They could be a permanent thing, or I think they could sort of appear and disappear based on time and all of that other stuff as well. Yeah. Based on where the moon is on the certain summer solstice and all this other stuff. Who knows? Who knows how they're going to implement it? But we know that those things, not all of them are going to be static, and not all of them are going to always have to go from one point to another. You'll be able to explore them manually as well. Lacticinator said, should the pirate status rather be linked to a ship instead of a player? The scanning or detecting will surely work on ship ID and not the player inside the ship.
Maybe both?
Maybe both, yeah. So maybe the people that are in the ship and flying it around need to sign in to that ship, quote unquote, right? Because we know that there's going to be different permissions that people have. While as if a pirate is boarded, just because you scan the ship doesn't mean it's scanned all those personnel in there. You might have to use a personnel scanner to see how many people are in the ship, but that ship is clear to go as long as all the people that are controlling it are good.
That sounds fair to me. Yeah, I agree.
So that seems to make the most sense for me. Now we are at the end of our podcast today.
Woo! Oh no, not a boo or
Twerk17, where can people find you? Where can they give you
I don't know
money?
where they're going to find me right now.
And what are your plans for the next
this is
week?
my channel. I'm definitely having some internet issues where I can't stream. I'm able to do this type of thing, but the stream is a little bit more resource heavy on your upload, and I'm dropping lots of frames and packets and things like that. So stay in touch with me. I'm gonna try and stream most days. It's most likely not gonna work out until my boy Devin figures some shit out. But yeah. So you hit the follow button here if you want to see me in the future. I stream from 6 a.m. Eastern to 10 a.m. Eastern time most days. Thursday and Friday I start at 8, so I do little 2-hour short streams because I have really long work days on Thursday and Friday. But yeah, you can hit me up on YouTube and Twitter. The links are in the chat. Thank you, Kazu. And they're both at Twerk17 Gaming, basically.
And do you want to put a timer on that giveaway? Maybe throw 2 minutes left on it?
Yeah, I got 2 minutes already up there, so we can start it right now. So 2 minutes left on the giveaway. Exclamation point, Dragonfly in chat. Anyone can enter. Just make sure you're following my stream, Source's stream, and BoredGamer's stream, please.
Yeah, I want to be the best.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. What about you, Bored? Where can we find you?
So you can find me at BoredGamer UK, pretty much on all social medias and YouTubes and Twitches. I do Twitch stream now, but that's exciting, isn't it? And I'm just going to be plodding along with a variety of quite meaty Star Citizen content, like all we know about Squadron 42 and stuff like that. Looking at some more meaty mechanics as well now. Like I'll be looking at exploration in a more detailed view now that we've got enough information about it and things start to be moving. It's not so much hype now as sort of like this is going to be happening soon.
Yeah,
which is I suppose is hype, but so yeah. Obviously streaming on Tuesday. I might start streaming Sundays as well. So tell me what you think about that. I love you guys. You're literally the best.
After me, right?
What?
Don't be stomping on my territory, son.
And before me, right?
Well, you don't even stream on Tuesdays. Don't hit me, Twerk.
No, but Sundays.
You just. Sometimes I stream on Sundays, son.
The other place you can see me is Bar Citizen on Saturday. I forgot to mention.
Oh yeah. You're vlogging from there, aren't you?
Yeah, so I don't know, like maybe Snapchat. I don't think so. It's probably going to be a YouTube video that night or the next morning.
Okay, cool. Well, if you do get a chance to Periscope or something, I'll be there.
All right, cool. I've never Periscoped.
I mean, you will now take your Periscope virginity, son.
Yeah,
one day.
It's gonna be crazy though. It's like I'm there. Sniffle Wizard and I are going up. BoredGamer or not BoredGamer. Grey-Headed Gamer is going to be there.
Oh.
Surprise appearance by WTFosaurus!
Yeah, right. The
Twerks Had
Fiendish
paid for
Feather
my
will
flight.
be there. Brickyard Gaming, Sophie Girl, fucking everybody. I'm missing a bunch of people. It's DJ Knight. It's like a lot of cool people are gonna be there.
Lots of people.
So I'm really excited.
Another game, or another 2 games I want to look at probably.
Commander J. Shepard
next week.
Yeah.
Either I want to look at Everspace, obviously, because it's been released.
Yes, it's early access. It's not released yet.
Well, it's more released than it was.
There's like voice acting and shit in it now.
Yeah, so I want to take that out. But also, a game that I've been waiting for ages, Event Zero, has come out, which is a first-person game where the computer on the space station that you're alone on has gone mad and lonely and is trying to kill you. And you have to trick it, convince it, all in text, to get it to like open doors and solve tasks, but it hates you or whatever. It's mad. And I love the concept of it. It looks really good, so I want to take a look at that as well. What about you, Saurus? What are you up to?
So you can find me at twitch.tv/WTFosaurus and on Twitter at twitter.com/WTFosaurus. I'm nice and easy that way. I'll be working on my business plan stuff. We're going to have Table of Terror on Saturday evening. Stacy's channel. What else is happening? Just getting ready. I have TwitchCon coming up, and then right after that I have CitizenCon. And even before both of those, I have another Vancouver Twitch meetup. So I'm like... I have more events always coming. I do have a donation goal happening right now for a new camera so I can start to take pictures and videos at these things because this camera that I have on this shitty phone sucks balls.
iPhone, baby.
Yeah, see, I was thinking either getting a camera or just getting a new like OnePlus 3 or something. I still haven't decided fully, but figure something out like that. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for me. If you are a streamer on the Redacted stream team, make sure you stick around and jump into the Discord because we are going to have a meeting tonight. As always, guys, you can... I'm going to make this prettier, but this time here, you can follow the Redacted content creator group at watch_redacted. You can see our website at redacted.tv, and our Patreon is patreon.com/redactedtv, and all of those patrons allow us to do things like the website and the emails and all of this other stuff. So
thank you very much.
And we've got things planned.
And we do have some things planned.
Lots of things planned that are going to require
all kinds of things. So
yeah, because it's going to make things popular and things are going to cost more is what's going to happen.
Yeah. So
anything is super appreciated.
Other than that,
also, I'll get your forum. I meant to get the forum badges up this week. I will get your forum badges up. I got your messages, but then things happened. So things happen. I apologize, but I'm gonna get them on you up for you. I promise. Patreon backers.
And for those wondering about the hat, I am seeing a lot of questions about that in chat. You can go to my channel and just type in !hat. I think that's Forrest's website or Forrest Etsy or whatever. We are gonna host and raid somebody. I have Snay up.
Ooh.
If you know Snay7. And right now he's not speaking in English, but I know he speaks English because I've done this to him before. So we're gonna go over here, and I'm gonna pull this up here.
Yeah, not speak English.
Oh, it's not letting me spam it in your chat. So you're gonna have to spam it in your own chat, Twerk, if you want to copy and paste that. So let's go over there and let's see his channel blow up with raids and
Ja, genau, weil du jetzt eben nicht da warst.
He's trying to move the NPCs.
Nein, hängt in der Lampe fest.
He's a monster.
Wir haben's schon,
like this, bam, and we're gonna host him, and we will see you next week.
An dem Papierkorb, an der Leuchte.
Wednesday. And remember, if you're a content creator, stick around and join us in the meeting room. Oh, right, we gotta draw a raffle. Before you do that,
set, go.
The winner is
DB Blazin'.
DB Blazin'.
420 DB Blazin'.
Do me a favor, send me a message on Discord.
What's wrong with you?
With your RSI handle and email address.
Guys.
All right, guys. So
nice, guys.
And thank you,
Welcome,
Luciana.
and thank you for the raid.
Congratulations.
Where my bot is not responding.
I love you guys.
Normally I hear this fucking shit.
And here we go.
What's the fuck?